Bowie Outfitters, Brent Boxell, attorney at law, and Cater & Cajun.
When it comes to building and property inspections at Southeast Louisiana, go with the certified experts, Avid Inspection Specialists. From homes to businesses, or mold, lead, or asbestos inspections, they have the latest technology to give you peace of mind. Avid Inspection Specialists. Visit avidspecialists.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Wednesday, October 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 73 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk some possible LSU injury news. We'll break down the matchup between the Tigers and the Razorbacks, and we'll dive into the New Orleans Saints as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Come in, if you dare.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Aren't you scared?
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome into another day of OTB. Wednesday, October 16, 2024, and my God, guys, you know, it might only be a couple days, however long it lasts, but I'll be damned if there isn't a legitimate autumnal crisp in the air. More than a scooch, more than a dollop. I mean, this is legit. Again, the staying power, and that's to be decided. It's probably a bit of false fall, but you know what? We are going to bask in it over the next couple of days and enjoy this thing, because I think it's damn near impossible. You got some real stuff going on. If you step outside your door this morning, if you did, and you didn't get a little pep in your step, just a little something extra, as it officially feels like football weather, finally. Also, really underrated word, autumnal. I freaking love it. I don't know why. It's just it's deeply satisfying to say. Maybe it's the MN combination, a pretentious way of saying something simple, which is one of my favorite ways to do things consistently. Either way, autumnal crisp just puts me in a good mood. I hope it does you as well. I'm also in a good mood because all of our friends are back. Now, Jake will be here just a little bit later at the end of this hour. He is on carpool duty this morning, but we have Taylor came back yesterday or sometime Monday, I suppose now. And Alondra back from Texas and visiting the fam and Grandpa's birthday. What's up, Alondra? How we doing?
What up? I'm doing well. Late flight yesterday, so a little tired,
burning at both ends.
But this coffee about to get me right.
Yeah. Wait. So how was your grandfather's birthday? It looked very fun. You seem to be in a very good mood from afar.
It was really fun. I was telling y'all before I left, my grandpa is very extra.
Yeah.
And he gets a bunch of bands to come play at the bar for his birthday. But we had fun. It was great. It's always a good time when we all get together and get to hang out.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
It looked awesome. It really did. I meant to tell him happy birthday from team Off the Bench. Taylor,
I brought y'all back. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I brought y'all back some little shot glasses. Well, my mom.
I was wondering what this came from. Let's go,
little
dude.
Bucky's shot glass.
Shot glass.
My mom was like, "Here, take them this."
Did you bring me back like 10 chopped brisket sandwiches that I could just keep in my fridge and eat?
I didn't think that would have been like.
Save
I don't think
travel. Yeah, that would have been a little difficult.
I don't think they would have lasted.
You bring it on your carry-on. You're going through security. They're like, why do you have 12 chopped brisket sandwiches? You're like, for my friends.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're going to have to throw these away. Damn it. Come on.
I told him I'd bring them some.
Yeah. How would you feel if you got your chopped brisket thrown away at TSA?
Right.
The guy's like, well, that would feel pretty bad, actually. You know what? Go ahead. Don't say anything. Taylor, did you watch a movie last night?
Yes, last night was all about what's inside. And I'm not talking about me and T-Bob. I'm talking about the Netflix movie.
So proud of
it was phenomenal. I enjoyed
Isn't it so good, dude?
I've never seen anything like it. It was such a unique thing.
Yes, do not say anything about the plot or the setup. It is a movie that I had no idea what the concept was going in. And it is a movie that rewards going in blind. But I'm so glad that you agree that it was phenomenal. It blew me. I loved it.
Well, and it was one of those movies where I kept trying to figure out how it was going to end. Thought it ended, and I was like, this ruined the entire movie. But it wasn't quite over yet. So then
it's Alondra, you got to watch it. It's What's Inside. It's very good. Again, the kind of the base level thing I can say about it. It is a kind of psychological thriller.
Love already.
About a group of frenemies that are reuniting for a wedding. And it gets, again,
Okay,
I agree with you, Taylor. It's one of the most original movies I've seen in years, both in terms of how it's filmed and the story itself. I watched Terrifier last night, which is...
so you slept well.
It actually did kind of bug me a little bit. Very, grisly dreams afterwards. You see a dark room. You think Art the Clown's hanging out in there. So Terrifier is kind of interesting. I think it came out in 2018. The first one, the one I watched last night. I would not say it's a really good movie. I'd probably score it like a 6 out of 10 if I were to score it. But it does harken back a little bit to kind of like mascot horror movies where the bad guy is really almost the main character in a lot of ways. My problem is it's like he is really creepy in a lot of the setup and everything. Once you get into some of the super, because it is like the whole point of one of the whole points of the movie is to really stretch what you can do with practical, classic gory horror movie effects. But to a point where even me and my desensitized brain a few times, just looked away. Or kind of by the end, I was just like, I'm probably ready for this movie to end. I'm not mad that I watched it. I think you have to know, though, that you're into, special effects, gore, and stuff like that. It's at least not full Hostel where that's all that's going on the entire time, but it's interesting to say the least. The actual character design of the bad guy though is very creepy and pretty good. You see Terrifier as well.
Yes, it's funny. I saw it about 3 years ago. Me and Victoria were sitting there, and I picked the movie, and I'm like, hey, it's a clown. It's probably not. We went in completely blind. And it's the diner scene at the very beginning. You're sitting there, and he's just staring at him from 2 booths behind him, watching. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? Maybe this is more of a creepy movie. And then, next scene, he just brutally murders somebody. I'm like, okay, I was completely off on the vibe on this.
Again, I kind of like the, I've always really appreciated practical effects in movies. And if you think about horror movies, they've always kind of been at the fore of, stretching what you can do, right? Even one of Peter Jackson's original movies that he made on just his credit card, his first movie, Bad Taste. But this is almost this. I don't know. You'll know. I mean, look, you can watch a preview and you'll know if it seems like your type of movie or not. All right. Now we got a lot to get to today. Okay. We got some news about a Weeks brother at linebacker. How it could affect LSU. We got some LSU-Arkansas to get into. New Orleans Saints about to take on the Denver Broncos. And, the injury report continues to grow. And Taylor has been preparing a fact check of sorts of Mickey Loomis. Looking forward to that. We got some recruiting news, flustering, and, everything else that we do every day. So if you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN. Coming out with us for now. Let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Tiger Labor and Staffing provides reliable local staffing solutions for warehouse, construction, and manufacturing positions. Whether you need help with temporary labor or long-term hires, they've got you covered with skilled, dependable workers. Locally owned and operated, they are proud to serve Baton Rouge area businesses with fast and flexible service. All right, so interesting news out of the Ponderosa, as it has been announced that West Weeks will not play the rest of the season. He's played in 3 games. He could have 1 game left if he wanted to, because he says he's going to use a red shirt. And, off the bat, you hear that, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're seeing more and more of this. This makes a lot of sense. He's not really playing right now. Of course, you do this, and then you provide, you leave yourself a year of eligibility, and maybe you go somewhere else. You can play. You play. Maybe you get a little money. I don't know, right? So that's what I originally thought. But then what's being reported specifically, and we'll see if this ends up being true, is that he's doing it so that he can return to LSU in 2025, which would be, would be great, right? That could lead to some very fun and interesting 2 linebacker, full weeks linebacking sets. But we'll see if that actually ends up coming to pass, right? Is that something that you're saying right now and you intend to do with the best of intentions, but then what if you have a marketing agent or somebody else and they start getting in your ear and this team wants you and they'll pay you this? We'll see where it ends up going. What I'm most interested right now in discussing is, what does this do to the linebacker depth? Because you lose Harold Perkins at the beginning of the year. Now you don't have West Weeks. And all of a sudden you look and you're like, okay, well, yeah, you got Penn, you got Whit Weeks, and then you got who? And most people don't know. In fact, I watch this stuff really close, y'all. I watch it really close. And I didn't even really know. The next man up now is true freshman Xavier Atkins, who actually also played a couple of snaps last games. I remember seeing him one time, and I was like, who is that? But it wasn't, then he's back on the field. I didn't look at it. But in some passing situations, they put him in last game, and when Penn would go out. This kind of makes LSU's linebacking depth perilously thin, in my opinion. Not because of sub packages, right? Xavier Atkins getting a few plays a game, that's fine. But what happens if you get as who had this story first? Taylor, there's a mixture here, right? I want to cite correctly.
I think it was LSU Odyssey.
Okay.
I believe that's where I saw it first.
Shout out my guy Lon. I think I'm actually going to do a pod with Lon later today, so I'm looking forward to that. But I guess a lot of the write-ups about this, presciently pointed out that what happens if you have a targeting? What happens if you have an injury of sorts? Well, then you got Xavier Atkins, a true freshman playing middle linebacker for you. Maybe you can convince West Weeks to come back. Maybe, he still has 1 game available. Maybe if you had to have it, he could put it. I don't know. I don't know, but it's something to keep an eye on going forward. Now, I do think the fact that they put Xavier Atkins in of their own volition last week in that setting, in that game, shows you they really like some of the things that he does and his potential, especially, obviously, his pass coverage. But, that's a hell of an ask for a true freshman in Atkins, especially if you had, let's say something happened to Greg Penn, he got targeting or whatever. That's the green dot. That's the guy that gets everybody lined up. Does that become Whit Weeks? Is Whit Weeks ready to handle that? What was the Whit Weeks quote from last year, Taylor? When he's talking about, I don't really know. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing out there, man. Greg just telling me where to go.
Yeah, they asked him about playing next to a veteran and Greg Penn, and he goes, well, he helps me. He tells me where to line up because I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
So, obviously, I'm sure Weeks has grown in the interim, but still, are you ready to be the experienced green nut telling everybody to line up? Well, it remains to be seen. So, objectively, I think, kind of some not like awful news, but not good news. Kind of bad news here is West Weeks going to use his redshirt to return to LSU next season, which could be cool if you have both Weeks brothers on the field at the same time again, but does put you in maybe some tight quarters for the second half of this college football season. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, I want to talk some LSU-Arkansas. Still want to get the Saints-Broncos as well. Classic throw the stats out the window game coming up this weekend. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. They are your steel experts, guys, in Gonzales, Louisiana, ready to go for you. If you need purlin, tubing, roofing, sheet metal, steel buildings, any accessories, Community Steel Company, that's your answer. communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. It's any type of project as well, right? Like, yeah, if it's personal, sure. Absolutely. But giant commercial deal, look, they get the steel straight from the wholesaler. They manufacture everything themselves. And what that means is that you get the best prices because there's no middleman jacking up the price on the back end. And you deal with a human, live, local, boots on the ground sales team. How about that? You're not just some online order form of these national companies where they don't give a damn about you. And if you live around Gonzales area, you can go see the campus, go check it out, walk around, touch, see, feel the product. Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Yo! Welcome back. OTB.
Okay, so I'm wondering, so y'all are on TikTok.
Yeah.
So maybe you know. Did this song go viral for some reason earlier?
I don't actually. I'm trying to do better about posting on TikTok for like snaps and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't casually scroll TikTok,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. Any TikTok I get is from people reposting on Twitter.
Yeah. Well,
I have not seen this though in my interneting.
I'm just wondering because when I was like out Saturday at the tailgates and stuff like that, I heard this song twice.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, why is everybody playing this song right now at two different tailgates?
Your instincts probably serve you well.
Right?
If you ever hear a song that all of a sudden comes back out of nowhere nowadays, I feel like you can almost always point to TikTok.
Yeah.
I casually scroll every day. Hadn't heard it, but a lot of people have different algorithms.
That's
You always
true.
know because TikTok, for whatever reason, always has like the same 5 or 6 songs in rotation, and then it kind of moves on to the next 5 or 6.
Lost Dog in the chat. T-Bob, have you seen the Babadook? Yeah, Babadook's really good. Very good movie. I enjoyed that one very thoroughly as well. Also gave us a couple of great memes.
Yeah.
Why can't you be normal? Basically how I feel about the New Orleans Saints. John and the Burrs, T-Bob, we're already playing a ton of freshmen. We have who we have. I'm not like, yes. But what's your point? That's not like sketchy if suddenly you don't have like Xavier Atkins. If you have Xavier Atkins and Greg Penn for a big half and weeks like that, that's something to keep an eye on. That said, the LSU defense is something that, man, I want to give myself fully over to him, after that Ole Miss performance. I really do. We talked about it. Since that first half against South Carolina, you have been dominant. Dominant in the second half against South Carolina. You had, I would say, a wobble in the first half against UCLA. You gave up. There were a couple busted coverages that I didn't love. There were a couple of just great plays made by UCLA at a couple of different points. But in the second half, you completely shut them down. Excellent against USA. And then against an Ole Miss offense that leads the SEC in every single statistical category, you were dominant. You shut down the run. You sacked them 6 times. By the way, guys, if you go to the SEC ranks right now and you filter out, and I believe you should. I'm a big believer in doing this. I don't know if other people are not, but I always filter out all stats into FBS only opponents, right? I got no need for Tennessee stacking 70 on like Alcorn. Like Tennessee stats change dramatically when you do this because they played 2 FCS teams and they won those games like 70-0 and like 60-0. It matters who you're actually playing against. So right now, if you filter all stats through just FBS opponents, LSU, number 1 in the SEC, number 2 in the country when it comes to sacks. 21 sacks on the year. For instance, Ole Miss had, 24 going into that game? We said they were, they led the nation, blah, blah. You take out the FCS games, Ole Miss goes down to 20, right? LSU is at 21. So this defense, man, there's some really legitimate good statistics that you can start hanging your hat on. You're very good at getting off the field at third down. Do y'all believe, though? That's kind of the question here. Do we think the sample size is too small? Is Ole Miss's offense maybe not nearly as good, and so you shouldn't overrate this? I'm inclined to believe my eyes. And what my eyes tell me and what my film review tells me is this is a defense that this new coaching staff has been, figuring out its personnel with, and now they have a really good idea of who they trust and where they trust them. And B, you have a lot of young players that are learning on the fly and learning multiple things, learning both how to play on this level, how to play on the college level, an SEC schedule, but also learning technique from very good coaches. Again, you hear me rave every single week about the better technique from the defensive front this year, both on the interior with Bo Davis and on the edge with Kevin Peoples. And the kind of instinctual play from the linebackers with Blake Baker. The cornerbacks, think about the cornerbacks. Still not, overwhelmingly like NFL, these are not like huge prospects, but they're in position. Like a lot of times when they've gotten beat this year, they've been in position. They just maybe haven't got their head around. They haven't made the play. And then the safeties, yes, they're a group that are struggling, but they've gotten better as well. So I see a defense that is ascending, and I think it's legitimate. If you're asking me, is this defense going to end up being pretty good? Yeah, man, I'm buying in. I think it's legitimate, and it's because I've seen consistent growth. Now, like any business or anything else, if we were to put this on like a graph, there's going to be peaks and valleys. There's going to be low moments. I don't think you're just going to have some consistent, smooth ramp, just getting better and better and better. There will be sometimes where like a game plan has you off balance for a half, or maybe you just get on your heels and you never quite recover. Maybe catch an injury during a game. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect from here on out, but I do think when we look at this defense at the end of the year as a whole, I think you're going to be pleased with the investment that was made, and you're going to feel like that investment was validated. And certainly last week felt like the first truly concrete step in being able to say that. And I think you'll see a defense that finished much higher than where it began, even with said peaks and valleys. The only thing is, it's Arkansas, right? And like we said, Arkansas, as dumb as it sounds, truly is a classic throw out the stats game. It never makes any sense. Last year, Arkansas was god-awful. It was 34-31. Last 4 games decided by 3 points. Again, a couple of years ago, you go to Fayetteville, and it takes Harold Perkins playing one of the best games we've ever seen in order to come away with a win, and they had a quarterback that literally could not throw the ball. No KJ Jefferson in the game. They had nothing going. They were awful that year. And yet, they almost won. And so now you have a quarterback in Taylon Green who can not only throw it, but he can run it as well. The question is, though, and this is the question for Arkansas every single week, which Taylon Green shows up? The incredible Taylon that threw for 416 yards and rushed for 60 more against Oklahoma State, or the next week? He did that at Oklahoma State. Threw for 416 yards, rushed for 60 more. The next week at home against UAB, it's 42% completion, 181 through the air, a pick, no touchdowns, and still got 90 yards on the ground, but completely ineffective. They barely beat UAB 37-27. UAB's really, really bad. So I don't know, man. That's I don't. You gotta, and this is maybe if I'm talking about the building staff and the trust and kind of believing in the improvement that they're showing me and the chemistry that are developing with these players. Maybe you trust that, okay, if you have such a wild card player and you think you have really good coaches, maybe that's a good recipe because they can identify on tape, okay, what's made him successful to this point in this season? What has he struggled with? And then how can we exploit that? I hope that might be glass half full. I hope that's the case for Baker and this staff because he's really good. And if he's on, Arkansas could get you easily. Jaquindon Jackson, Arkansas could get you. Where LSU, though, that's their running back, very good running back, got to stop the run, much like you did against Ole Miss. Where LSU should have a massive advantage, though, the Arkansas secondary is not good. Really not good. I mean, again, Alan Bowman in Oklahoma State threw the ball all over the field on him and ended up winning that game in overtime. Kyron Lacey, is CJ Daniels going to be back?
They said he's probable.
Okay. Kyron Lacey, CJ Daniels, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, maybe you get Chris Hilton. These guys should be looking to feast this game, as should Garrett Nussmeier. You have a massive advantage in that matchup. It's a big enough advantage where it should be a big enough advantage to decide the game, in my opinion. The real question for LSU going into this game is an intangible one. Can you handle success? We've seen examples just in the recent history on college football teams that could and could not. Alabama could not. You beat Georgia at home, insane game. The next week, you dropped to Vandy. And that's not to take away from Vandy, but like absolutely Alabama rested on their laurels that week. Vandy, on the other hand, beats Alabama. Biggest win in program history. And then they go play Kentucky. And objectively, Kentucky should be way ahead of wherever Vanderbilt is. They've always been better. They have more investment. Stoops has been there longer. And yet what does Vandy do? They handle success. Diego Pavia, one snap and clear, stays locked in, 24-hour rule in effect, and they go and they beat a Kentucky team. We all chose Kentucky on the 104.5 ESPN staff to a man. But Vandy handled success. Can LSU do the same? Because make no mistake, this last game, like we said, it was special. It was one of them, grab a shred of immortality games. You've been walking around town. Everybody's been talking to you about it. You get your winning Player of the Week awards. Every question you're getting is still about last week. Can you turn the page? Can you lock in? Again, in theory, Brian Kelly's program should be able to. It's process oriented. By definition, not results oriented. But it's one thing to say that. It's one thing to have processes in place on paper. It's another thing to execute on them and to really follow through. And it's such a very tough 2-week stretch. Arkansas game, always close, in Fayetteville, and on the road at College Station. Arkansas, very high vibes as well. Coming off a bye, coming off of beating Tennessee at home. You better come correct or you're going to be in trouble. And never forget, baby, you playing for the Golden Boot, the most dangerously serrated trophy in all of college football. Probably the only trophy that could be used as a legitimate guillotine should the need arise. So lock in and get ready to beat the Hogs this weekend. I feel good about it. I got LSU by 3. I got LSU by 3. I think I would love to sit here and pretend like I think it's going to be a blowout or an ass kicking. I've just learned my lesson there. I've been calling that too many times as of late. If that happens, good. Great. We'll all enjoy not feeling like our hearts are about to explode the entire game. That's actually, I mean, that is kind of the best feeling in the world. But I think you're in for a battle come Saturday. So lock in, buckle up, and let's freaking go, dude. All right, coming up next, let's talk New Orleans Saints. More names on the injury report. What does it mean? And is this possibly the most comical situation in the entire NFL? More off the bench coming up.
Off the bench.
Go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. Coleman Roofing and Construction is your most reliable and your most complete, your most respected roofing company. Any type of roof that you need, okay? Terracotta, New Orleans shingle, or New Orleans slate shingles, anything. Doesn't matter. They do it. Any size project. You got a hole in your home? Maybe it's caused some water damage to the interior of your home? Well, guess what? The construction portion's right there, right? They come out. They'll fix the drywall, insulation, do what they have to do. Then they'll fix a hole in the roof. But that's just, a little hole in your roof. What if you're building, have a business. You're building a giant building. You need the roof done. Okay, well, we got you, man. Again, any size project. And Coleman Roof has grown to this size to serve any size project anywhere in the state of Louisiana, any type of roof, construction as well. They've grown to this size over 41 years by word of mouth. That's how reliable and respected the service is. Let's go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Gulf Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Look, I'm sorry, Steven. If you name your dogs Gumbo and Boudin, it's going to make me want to eat him, especially in this weather, you know? Oh, can't wait to make gumbo later today. Let's go, dude. W's in the chat for everyone making a gumbo today. Perfect weather to do so. Best way to enjoy a little autumnal crisp. All right. Taylor, do you have your Mickey Loomis bit ready to go?
I do.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to set you up for it here. So the Saints, in case you missed it, Chris Olave definitely out Thursday with a concussion. And according to an Ian Rappaport report, Rashid Shaheed not looking good. I think the exact quote was highly doubtful. But he's dealing with a knee injury. Okay, actually, I'm not going to paraphrase here because I don't want to put words in somebody's mouth. Ian Rappaport tweeting, one to keep an eye on. Saints electric wide receiver / returner Rashid Shaheed did not practice today for a knee injury described as concerning, source said. His status going forward is to be decided. Don't love described as concerning. Don't love the fact that we've been talking for weeks now about how you only have a couple of weapons. And the names you mentioned are Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and now the team that's injured all hell anyway. You're going to be down Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, with your former leader coach who bailed on you, Sean Payton, coming back to town, looking like he might be the man to officially bury the franchise that he once made great. It is a god-awful gumbo of maddening ingredients for New Orleans Saints fans. By the way, in case you haven't really thought about what Rashid's done this year, he's leading you in targets, yards, touchdowns. He's second in the NFL in punt return average. He's fifth in yards per catch. So, yeah, not good. And now, in what can only be described as a horror movie of a Thursday night football game. Very appropriate for Thursday night football, though. But this is like the Terrifier of Saints fandom. You'll watch Spencer Rattler throw to Mason Tipton, Bub Means, and Cedric Wilson. And then who's the veteran receiver they just signed? I barely recognize the name. I'll look it up. Think about that though, dude. Mason Tipton, Dante Pettis.
Oh yeah, from Washington boy.
Yeah, signed on the practice squad though. So I don't, Thursday I don't know his role. But Spencer. Oh, we really had hope for this season. Thought maybe if everything went well, you could make something happen. Remember when we were worried about Trevor Penning? And now you have Spencer Rattler throwing a Mason Tipton, Bub Means, and Cedric Wilson against the 5th best pass defense in the NFL. Peak Thursday Night Football. Peak stage for just ultra embarrassment in the Dome. And it reminds me of the worst possible version of that game against Atlanta in 2018, where Drew Brees threw touchdowns to Dan Arnold, Tommy Lee Lewis, Austin Carr, and Keith Kirkwood, which then got me thinking, Drew Brees made everybody look good in that building. I don't know that Mickey Loomis has ever known how to build a team, and I'm being a little aggressive there. Obviously, there's a lot of shrewd moves in there, a couple of massive draft classes that set you up for extended periods of success. But my God, Drew Brees just made up for everything. Like, you could give Brees Mason Tipton, Bub Means, Cedric Wilson, and you'd still have offensive success. You'd still have a chance. But what it did, you could argue it created such an apathy, such a belief in self that was maybe unearned. A belief in the results that, that's because I'm trading up every year. That's because I'm doing this or that. When no, it's just because you have Drew Brees. It's the exact same thing that New England went through after Tom Brady left, who was actually responsible for everything. And so with that in mind, Taylor already had it ready to go that, Mickey's saying, look beyond the results. So Taylor, looking beyond the results, what's going on with this Saints team?
I like to fact check Mickey Loomis because I am a big Loomis fan. Guys, he's right on this. He is right. I tried to fact check him. He's correct. We should look beyond Dennis Allen. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? I went and looked. I took this last draft class out because they're rookies. They're still up in the air.
Yeah.
I went 2013. 2013 is when he became GM and executive vice president. So when he took over everything. I didn't go all the way back. They've had 59 draft picks. This is just me. I put that they hit on 23 of them. That is a 38% clip hit rate. And look, that's including 2016 when you had Rankins, Michael Thomas, Von Bell, and David Onyemata. All 4 of those were hits.
Really good
then
class.
In 2017, Marshawn Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, Marcus Williams, Alvin Kamara, Trey Hendrickson.
Another one of those legendary classes.
Outside of that, though, you hadn't had more than about 1 or 2 per class, and you let all the good guys walk out of the building. And you could say, okay, well, they were always deficient at receiver. Well, why didn't you sign anybody in the offseason, T-Bob? Because you're in cap hell because of the moves that Mickey Loomis has made. You've transferred money. You've did signing bonuses. You've kicked the can down the road so long because you wanted to be in win-now mode. The team is still in win-now mode, but you don't have the roster or the head coach to be in win-now mode. You have a salary cap, effective available cap space of $2.484 million. That is 29th in the league, ahead of only the Bills, Rams, and Panthers. You can't sign any free agents, at least not anybody worth a damn. You couldn't sign Justin Williams. He chose the Falcons not only because he probably thought he had a better chance to win in Atlanta, but they could probably offer him more money. You couldn't go get a receiver. You're deficient at defensive line. Yeah, you let one of the best pass rushers in Trey Hendrickson walk a few years ago. Yeah. You did that to pay Marcus Williams, who you also let walk out of the building as well. So I agree with Mickey Loomis. I don't think it starts with Dennis Allen. I think it starts with him.
Well, and that's kind of what we were getting at with Nick Underhill yesterday as we were just talking out. I was like, Nick, at a certain point, do you think Loomis gives Allen so much leash because, when he lays his head down on his pillow at night, he's like, ugh, I kind of screwed this up. I have not put him in a great position to succeed. Or does he not? Does he not even bother that? Does he think he's doing great? And maybe even more frustratingly, Taylor, that we could, if it would take some research to do. And I know Nick's done some of this work, so we could probably dig up some numbers that he's already done the heavy lifting on. But that entire time, too, you've been trading up at a time when nobody else trades up or trades up very rarely. You literally trade up every single draft, almost every pick. So there's an opportunity cost. There's an additional opportunity cost to all of those missed picks as well, where a lot of them have multiple picks in one way or another invested into them. So you're not just missing on one, but you're missing on players and you're giving up resources.
Well, it's the biggest misses too, T-Bob. Marcus Davenport, you give up multiple picks, 2 first-round picks to get him. He was a bust. You traded up to get Peyton Turner. He's been a bust so far. Like, your biggest misses are the ones you've traded up for.
Well, but that's because the Saints' theory is nobody else knows what they're talking about. Trading back doesn't matter. You scout, you find a player you're obsessed with, and you trade up and get him. Which in the later rounds, I'm a bit more okay with, right? Like, absolutely. I mean, it's still, I hate how much the Saints do it because you're kind of ruining your diamond in the rough potential. But if you trade up in the first round, like, you got to get it right. You just do. Otherwise, you set the franchise back years. And they've done it too many times. Too many times. So looking beyond the results, Mickey, you're right. It's the front office's fault in a lot of ways. And you have to prove that Drew Brees wasn't just the one making everything work in that building for so long. Because the more data we get, the more it feels that way. All right, let's wrap up hour number 1 and get some LSU Crude news on the other side. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
GEAUXTommies.com. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go. Tommy's today for, look, you need hardy plank or a vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. You work with Tommy's, you're going to see the difference clearly. Also, look, this is aesthetic and functional. That's what's always interesting about upgrades like this to me. Like, okay, let's say you go vinyl windows, right? They're much more energy efficient than your traditional windows or maybe what you have now. So they pay for themselves, right? Whatever you pay up front ends up you end up paying back and then some on the back end when your cooling bills get lowered, heating bills get lowered. You understand. Great integrity. They're dependable. They're efficient. Make them one of the bids on your next project. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go Tommys.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back, OTB. God, I can't wait to make fun of Jerry Jones later in the show. No flustering today, unfortunately, but we'll talk a lot of college football in hour number 2. Big weekend of college football coming up. We'll dive into it all. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN. You can hop in there, get your comments, thoughts, and everything else to get to those. Also, so in recruiting news, how about this? And I'm not really okay. So I'm going to tell you about a player and what happened over the weekend. And the player's good, and that matters and everything. But the fact that it happened and what it speaks to is the more interesting piece of this conversation. So Ellis McGaskin, the 2027 number 1 ranked linebacker in the country, which 2027 feels far away, but, you know, it's a couple of years, right? So you got to start laying the track. 2027 number 1 ranked linebackers from Mobile, Alabama. He was in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. And this is where it gets crazy. So LSU beats Ole Miss. He's there. You know, they rest field, all that sort of stuff. Blake Baker on the field after the game offers him a scholarship officially. You know, obviously they knew they liked him. But again, appreciate what I'm saying here. It's not about, oh, wow, it's not about this. That's a cool moment for maybe a player that could be really good in the future, right? Number 1 linebacker. You think he's the number 2 player in the state of Alabama for that year. He said he always has loved watching LSU growing up. Here he is in Death Valley at night in one of the most unbelievable settings you could imagine. He gets to experience that. Then he gets offered on the field. Like, that's going to be very good for him making a college decision. But what I'm more getting at is the absurdity and the insanity and the commitment of college football coaches. Here Blake Baker is, just put together one of the game plans of his lives, shut down an Ole Miss offense that was absolutely dominating, despite the fact that I believe that Ole Miss did have a talent advantage against you in that matchup. Blake Baker creates a win that will resonate in Tiger Stadium in every fan's mind that was there for years and years. Probably one of the most special moments of his career, and yet he still finds the time to go offer a 2027 linebacker right there on the field, timing it perfectly, taking advantage of the situation. That's pretty wild, man. That's pretty wild to me. And it goes back to, I talked to Dan Lanning in the offseason, and it was right after Dan Lanning did the video where, was he going to go to Alabama? And then he has like the I'm staying video that they released. He kind of let the rumors build for a little bit. And I talked to him about it, and just everything's intentional. And everything is about recruiting 24/7 in this business. And that's why a lot of people don't make it in this business. That's why I would never want to ever do this business, because that is a grind that literally never ends. Like, we all feel some measure of this, right? You all know that there's something more you could be doing. And I think that's kind of an American trait as well. We live in a very workaholic culture. And so it's like anytime you're maybe just sitting there relaxing or not doing something, you're like, God, I could be checking email right now. I could be responding to that person. I could be making headway on tomorrow's show. I could be like, we can all appreciate that. But with a lot of us, maybe the job is a little more low stakes, maybe a little less performative. You're not being judged as harshly. Maybe you're paid less, so you're a little less motivated. But either way, with recruiting, it's one of those deals where the great ones, the ones who make it, they are pretty much doing everything they can 24/7, you know. And they're probably feeling that guilt the hardest when they're actually just sitting back and enjoying some time to just let their brain wander and not think about having to text teams. But shout out Blake Baker. Heady play, taking advantage of that stadium and that environment to maybe get him a linebacker to coach 3 years down the road, right? Like, that's the crazy part about this. He is doing that all the way down the road. It never ends. ABC. Always be Cruden. Seems like chat's being depressed about the Drew Brees year. Yeah, years. I know, dude. I miss it too. We had a hell of a 15 years. And it's always the most terrifying thing that any NFL franchise goes through. You lose that guy, and it's like, can we get back? Do we have the right people to get back? Or were those people being lifted up by their bootstraps by Drew Brees? Because I talked about that in the past a lot in the Brees era. A lot of those 7-9 teams should have been about 3-13. But it was him just being overwhelmingly competent that even got you to 7-9. Hour 1 of the books. Jake joins the show again. Hour 2 coming up.
Off the bench.
Go to Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. You have AC, heating, or electrical needs. You want to take control of your conference room today. You want to go check out Accutemp Baton Rouge. The ratings are incredible for a reason, guys. They are going to absolutely blow you away. Yes, that is an AC pun. It's also appropriate, though, because service to the highest degree is plastered everywhere in their building, their website. It's what they do. And when that is your core mission statement, right? Because, look, plenty of places that can do the work, right? Can fix the job, whatever. But can they go the extra mile to make sure you feel comfortable that it's quickly done, that it's efficiently done, that they leave no stone unturned in getting it done? Because that's what Accutemp does. Go to Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Wednesday, October 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 73 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll continue to break down the LSU defense. We'll look at some of the top matchups coming up this weekend in college football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Ooh, you're scary.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Terrifying and terrible.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in. Hour number 2 of OTB. Alondra, I just put a video in the 8 o'clock hour from McCready and Siski or whatever. And I want to, if you could doctor up the audio and take out the cursing. Because they start a larger conversation about like kind of fans' input and criticisms and you know, can you, should you, whatever, if you played, coach, whatever. And I have very passionate feelings on it. So we'll get there a bit later in this hour. We're going to talk a lot of college football this hour. No Flestry guys, like I said. So I say we preview the weekend, man. We got UGA, Texas coming up this weekend, Alabama, Tennessee, LSU-Arkansas, Nebraska, Indiana, Miami, Louisville. Just a few of the games on the docket for this weekend. We've already talked Saints today, but maybe we could revisit some and just really get depressed again. Daniel Blunt, T-Bob, when you buy your first Elon bot, what's the first immoral thing you're going to have it do for you? Again, I don't think we have to jump straight to immorality, though. To be fair, a lot of robotic research and everything else will be based in immorality. Like, what is the internet like? 85% adult content or 90%, something like it's something crazy like that, right? Like, yes, if the question is everybody going to be having sex with robots? Like, yeah, that's going to be near the fore. That's not what I'm most excited about, though. Again, if I had one of them robot helpers, like last night, I watched Terrifier because I had about 2 hours of clothes folding to do. And we had really let it build up. Just a mountain of clean clothes yelling at me from the laundry room. And so I was like, all right, might as well put on a movie. And this is my life for the next 2 hours and folding and hanging and putting it away. So if I had a little robot to do that, it's also, you immediately see why it'd be scary because we become so dependent on them. But that would be the first thing I would do. Just fold clothes, do dishes, vacuum, all that crap. That's what I'm talking about. Jakey, what's up, baby? How'd drop-off go?
All good. All good. I didn't screw it up.
Nice. Well done.
I didn't screw it up. Yeah, Katie had a little breakfast. The football team had breakfast with moms this morning, so we kind of switched roles, but it was all good. All good. Harlow's not very happy that I woke her up at 6:45 to take the boys to school.
Yeah.
Not very happy. Like, the hell you doing?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't leave you here.
So she sleep past 6:45. That's pretty cool, though.
Oh, coach. Weekends, it's like 9:30.
What? Damn. I might leave Bobby in there till 9 sometimes. So I'm like, sorry, bro. You're the third kid. You just gotta, you gotta
adapt.
Learn to be bored. Just play in your crib and just look around or something. I don't know. But damn, hell yeah, dude. Shout out Harlow. All right, Jake. So let me pick before we dive into the rest of today's show. Let me pick your brain on some LSU news that we opened the show with, which is that West Weeks is going to redshirt.
Yeah.
And return to LSU next season. Like we talked about. And again, I don't know if I believe that he'll return to LSU. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. We'll see that over time. But the interesting part to me is, what does that do for the linebacker depth right now? Because did you notice it when Xavier Atkins got snaps last game?
Yeah.
I actually did not. Not that much.
I pointed it out on the broadcast.
So what did you think? Like in his few plays, there was one play where maybe he did something where I just remember being like, oh, who's 30? Isn't he 30?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How would you feel? Let's say Greg Payne got a targeting. How would you feel?
Don't put that out there.
I'm just saying, but that is the scenario that you have to deal with right now, right?
Yep.
How would you feel if Xavier Atkins and Whit Weeks were the linebacker? Because that would be it, right? And who's making the calls at that point? Whit? Does he become the green dot guy?
I would have to imagine so.
It's tough. Or would it be like a Major Burns maybe, actually, now that I'm thinking about it?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think Sage Ryan had it on this game.
Okay. Oh, it wasn't Penn. I thought, okay, that's interesting because Kelly called him the green dot guy after the game.
Now, that could just be like maybe Sage was the backup. But I remember Gordy on the broadcast pointing out Sage had a green dot on the back of his helmet.
Okay, that makes me feel better though, because Whit would. I don't think I want Whit making the calls. No, and it's not. It's just because like he's playing so instinctual and good right now. I don't want to take any of that physical resources away for any mental resources.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. So you have a couple that makes me feel a lot better about the situation. You have a couple of veteran DBs in there you could lean on.
Atkins he played 7 snaps in the game. So actually, I thought it was probably more like 4. Played 7 snaps, graded out 71%.
Oh, that's pretty damn good.
Not too bad.
I think I would say this: if they're already putting him in of his own volition, it means they really like him.
That's true.
Even
There's
as a true
something he
freshman,
did to flash to make them say, "Hey."
To get snaps in this game, I know it was mainly coverage snaps, so that makes sense, right? That's Penn's kind of weakest part of his game.
He actually has, 3 runs, 4 passes.
Oh, never mind. I still think I don't know. Well, I'll look up Xavier Atkins' film and see if I feel like they like him if they're doing it mainly for passing down.
Right now, Keys, the linebacker, got 1 snap, and I think he got the snap where, I don't know if you were watching this closely, but when Greg, I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if, he was trying to stop the clock. I don't know. But they came out there, and then Keys 42 went in there for that snap.
Oh,
that was the only snap that he got.
We haven't even mentioned Keys. Who's Keys? I don't know Keys.
Devon Keys. He's a true freshman. You also have Tylen Singleton, true freshman linebacker. He hadn't played a ton either, but that's kind of
interesting. So Baker's got his little freshman triplets to kind of mold as he wants to teach to play the position from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool to think about, who emerges out of that crew. So somebody to keep an eye on going forward. Jake, when it comes to the game this weekend, look, we talked about it yesterday, the intangible issue for LSU, handling success.
Yeah.
Can they do it? As far as on the field goes, look, we also talked about this, the classic throughout the stats game. Taylon Green is a massive wild card here. I kind of laid out my belief in the defense, and I think this improvement is legitimate. And I think when you have so much tape on good Talon and bad Talon that the staff could put together a plan to maybe make him more bad Talon. And it has to start, stopping Jaquinta Jackson and running the balls is key in doing that as well. But they did that so good against Ole Miss. I feel pretty good about that. But even if you were to lose that battle and Talon and company pop off, the reason why I still like LSU to win a close one this weekend is because Arkansas's secondary is awful. Like Garrett Nussmeier, do you agree Garrett Nussmeier and these LSU wide receivers and Mason Taylor should be able to dominate through the air?
Yeah, and so a lot of people thought Tennessee would, but also remember, like, Nico right now is going through it.
And Tennessee's receivers may be bad.
And they confused him.
Yeah.
And they switched up what they did, and he wasn't ready for it. And you have to have belief, even though Nussmeier only has 7 career starts, that he would be able to adjust to, whatever they did. Now, I can't imagine them having 2 wholesale changes on their defense in 1 year, not in college football. But, like, that was one of the things that, really helped them out in the Tennessee game. But for the most part, like you said, when you line up and you play, like Oklahoma State, thrashed them.
Yeah.
I mean, through the air.
Yeah, through the air. Dolly Gordon didn't do anything.
Gordon didn't do anything. Gordon had, what, 45 yards in the game?
Yeah, he had like 400. Aaron Murray, who y'all should all sub to snaps, trying to hit 26K by Sunday, guys. Please go to youtube.com/@snaps CFP or just Google Snap CFP. But Aaron covered him earlier in this year, Arkansas. And so, you get embedded, you watch practice, you study them in depth. And, yeah, he said the secondary was terrible. In terms of adjustments, yes, like maybe that, they've had a bye week, a lot of time to put together a game plan to try to stop Nuss. But what do you do, right? Because I feel like I've seen LSU lose the initial game planning battle a couple of times this year and then come back and win in the end. South Carolina was a very stark example of that, where they had that offense completely stymied at the beginning. In the second half, they could not stop them to save their lives. And even Ole Miss this last week, where they said, okay, look, we're going to play coverage. Make him deal with 8 dropping back there and figure it out. And at first, it looked a little bad, but then in the end, when it mattered most, he got it. So, yeah, you're right. Even though he doesn't have a ton of starting experience, he does have, experience, like age, time. And I would trust him to be able to overcome whatever wrinkles Arkansas is going to throw in and then be able to exploit a bad secondary.
Yeah, and look, South Carolina defense, by the way, I think they're 5th in passing, maybe 4th or 5th in total yards. So they're right there towards the top. So that's, that defense I actually think is better than this Arkansas defense you're going to face.
Oh, yeah.
2 edge rushers for South Carolina, actually 3 edge rushers for South Carolina, only 1 for Arkansas. But honestly, it's wild that we're sitting here saying this. Edge rushers don't bother me at all, and it doesn't matter who it is.
No. The stats back it up as well, Jake. LSU right now, first in the SEC by far, having only given up 2 sacks on the year. And that's what's facing an Ole Miss defensive front that led the country in sacks coming in. Just facing South Carolina, who, like Jake said, Kyle Kennard leads the SEC in sacks. So now he's half a sack ahead of Braden Swinson, the only player. And we all know about Dylan Stewart, the freshman phenom. Talking Hemingway in the middle. I know I'm missing a couple names. Like, yes, they've faced an elite pass rush, and yet they have given up the least amount of sacks in the SEC. Something I was thinking about yesterday where it's like, losing these tackles is not going to be some sort of death knell or anything like that. But it is going to feel bad to remember what it feels like to have to worry about an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Because right now you can really just turn your brain off. In last week's analysis pregame, we said that all week. We're like, yeah, Jared Ivey and them are good, but I'm not, I'm not, whatever. I'm not sweating. We don't need to waste time talking about that. And sure enough, you didn't. How about this? Did you know this? If you filter out FCS games, so FBS only, you should do all stats, in my opinion. You know who's number 1 in the SEC and number 2 in the nation in sacks?
Who's that, T-Bob?
LSU. 21. That's pretty well. So you have 21 sacks, you've given up 2. You want to talk about winning in the trenches, guys? That's winning in the trenches right there. That's how you build a football team and a program over time.
if this was maybe another show, another place, they would have already mentioned it 17 times. But before the season, you, sir, were all over LSU's defensive line and their edge rushers and what they could do. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no, for sure. We said, they had potential, but I thought it was going to be more like Savion Jones. I didn't see Braden Swinson exploding like this.
Right, but you talked about their sack numbers. We were giving bold takes one day, like right before the season. I don't remember what exactly you gave out there, but I remember it being about sacks in the defensive line.
There was I think it was either leading or top 3 in sacks or something,
Yeah.
but it was because it wasn't even like I was like, because I didn't see anything. I wasn't at practice. It's just that they had experience there, and Brian Kelly was telling us the edges are doing awesome. And Kevin Peoples is coaching them awesome. What's interesting to me, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. It's like, can you imagine what it's like for these cats on game day? Because they're used to going against Will Campbell and Emory Jones.
It's true, too.
So all of a sudden they get to Saturday and they're like, wait, what? Wait, I can do this, dude. Like, I'm out here getting wins against first rounders. You think I can't handle your guy? Like if you're Ole Miss, your backup left tackle, you think I can't handle that guy? Come on now.
That's a great point.
Do we have the Braden Swinson sound? Okay, Jake, you're gonna love this, dude. This is Braden Swinson. Asked Jacques. This comes from Jacques' Twitter. This is Braden asked about. Well, the question's in there, so just play the video in the clip.
Your big tackle, 4th and 1, they go for it.
4th and 1. I feel like that was probably my biggest play of my career. Because, I always wanted to take the next step in being a run defender. I just didn't want to just be a third down guy, But just being able to get in there, coaches putting us in the right spots, didn't get the call, but, you just got to check whoop ass sometimes and just go get the ball. That's all you got to do.
Just got to check whoop ass sometimes. Absolutely love that. Love that. Check whoop ass. That is a aggression, an attitude that this LSU defense has been missing for far too long. Check whoop ass. Print the shirts, dude.
Didn't get the call, just like, got to check whoop ass.
Yeah, so wait, what does he mean by that? Is he saying that he didn't get did he go freestyle? That's what I think too, right?
He didn't get the call because it was hurry up, and he's like, all right, well.
Oh, like he literally did not get a call, and he's just like, check whoop.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought maybe he didn't get the play design that he wanted, but no, you're right, because they did hurt. He literally did not get the call, and he just said, F it.
He has probably helped himself as much as any defensive player in the country this year when it comes to the next level.
Yeah, because it's legitimate tape. It's not fluky tape. It's a high motor, which people love, that never quits. It's good pass rush moves. And like you said, now evolving as a run defender as well. Sometimes you just got to check whoop pass. And look, that was the key play in the early sequence where LSU's offense for 4 possessions does nothing and you give up 0 points.
Multiple times, LSU's defense either stopped them on 4th down, made them, forced a field goal attempt that they missed, or just gave up 3 points when 7 felt like it was likely.
Yeah. No, I mean, they held the rope. Same thing in South Carolina. They kind of held the rope while the offense figured it out and then finished the fight. Taylor, you should make that shirt the check whoop ass shirt. Right? And then if you design it, don't you get a little kickback if people buy it? Y'all could support Tay-Tay and Alondra. Y'all could both do shirts, and y'all could support Tay-Tay's crippling energy drink addiction.
Yeah.
And what would Alondra's addiction be? I was going to say tequila problem, but I don't actually believe that. Trash television.
I do love trash television.
Yeah. And so she's got to pay for more streaming services, guys.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's got to pay for more. She's going to go real deep on these streaming. So y'all need to go buy the Check Whoop Ass shirts.
Which nobody's going to relate to this, but I checked in on Real Housewives of New York yesterday. Did not recognize not one cast member. They are not one OG on the Real Housewives of New York.
Hate to see it.
Not a good retain rate on Real Housewives.
Not my Real Housewives. What happened?
Seriously.
Make Housewives great again. Bring him back. Bring Miranda back.
I'll vote for anybody that's going to do that.
I've actually you won't believe this, I've never seen a single Housewives episode of any sort.
I do believe that.
Which, like, I don't know. I feel like
firmly believe that.
Well, I feel like those are pretty, because I guess my wife's never really watched them, which is probably why. But those are pretty culturally impactful. Like, my dad has seen seasons upon seasons. So, admittedly, again, it's because his wife likes it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because his wife likes it.
We
But
need to talk Housewives with the Cannon.
Oh, he probably could talk. Actually, I mean, that dude could talk the bark off a tree. So, I ain't exactly saying that much. But he probably has some housewife takes ready to roll. Taylor, give me a Real Housewife take.
Orange County was always my favorite, even though I never
It's
watched
great.
any.
Orange County is great.
See, there you go. Lucky
Yeah.
guess.
Okay, nice.
Stay ready, T-Bone.
My favorite one
Stay
was
ready.
the New Jersey one.
See, guys, that's a good, when you don't know anything, Taylor did a good technique there where you do a comparative take. You don't actually know anything, but you know that there, you have like
Trailers
your
are
Orange
fire,
County, your New York, like
You have
there's other
Atlanta,
ones.
right?
So you choose one and you're like, that one's the best. And then if anybody asks you why, you just, that's when you can start to freestyle a little bit. Nice technique though there, Tay-Tay. All right. When we get back, here on Off the Bench, Jake, let's dive into this college football weekend as a whole. And we can get any Arkansas thoughts that if you have anything that you still want to get to as well, keep it locked. 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com is the website. And All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is the place for your next vehicle. Be it a Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe a brand new vehicle, maybe you just want to lease, maybe you need a rent for like a vacation or something. Or you go into the body shop and service center. All makes and models welcome. Free professional estimates. Excellent lines of communication. Maybe it's a multi-day fix. You need a rental car. Miss Lee Sessions got you cheaper per day rental price, traditional rental companies. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, if you're maybe planning a trip to go up to Arkansas to watch the Tigers play, maybe you're going to College Station next week to watch the Tigers play, and you want to rent a Toyota, remember, per-day rental prices, everything is available. So if you want a full-size Sequoia, if you want to see in a minivan, if you want a midsize SUV, Highlander, 4Runner, all of that is available in that rental process. Call Miss Lisa Sessions, like T-Bob said today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hombre. Hey, tell her. Scott Dice says, I just bought a pumpkin and all 4 of the different Deadpool Wolverine frozen pizzas because I want to try them and I want the boxes. I think I'm losing it. Scott, I think every day in the chat we realize you're losing it. But I mean that in the most loving way possible. We're losing it together, and I love that. Also, going out of your way to buy 4 Deadpool Wolverine-themed frozen pizzas, that's incredible. And if nothing else, Deadpool would be proud of you because there's nothing that man loves more than a good marketing gimmick. Who knows? Maybe he'll shout you out in the next movie.
You think?
I would never. I mean, no, but in the breaking the fourth wall, I guess it's always there's potential there. What is your favorite frozen pizza? I know the one that I've eaten the most is Totino's.
Yeah,
they used to sell them at the little student shop. They were like $1 or something. We used to probably have 100 in the fridge. I remember during Gustav when we got I think it was either $80 or $180 for the few days for per diem to buy groceries. Literally all we bought were flats of Natty Light and just a couple hundred Totino's. And you could heat those things up and they'd be so crappy and so delicious and tasty. But I don't know that I don't have a strong DiGiorno's, Red Baron, Wild Mike's. What are we talking about here? Does anybody?
The most I've had is Tony's, I believe. I've had that the most.
Yeah, Tony's.
Tony's pizza.
What is Tony's?
I think I like DiGiorno.
Okay, DiGiorno. So you agree with it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
My kids like Red Baron.
Red Baron?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my kids eat.
Can anybody say what separates a great frozen pizza from another one?
So
I think they all pretty much taste the same.
That's what I'm kind of getting at as well, right?
Yeah.
Is that I don't think there really is a favorite.
I think
if somebody feels
sometimes the crust's a little soggy when you cook it after it's frozen, it can get a little wet. So it's if the crust isn't soggy, I think that actually makes it a little bit better.
That's fair. But then that's is that how you're heating it? Is that the pizza itself? If anybody thinks that they have a frozen pizza that's next level, let me know. I would like to try it.
CPK's got some frozen pizzas that aren't bad. There's one company, I can't think of the name of it. They do the cauliflower crust. It's pretty good.
I used to, Ann's.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Ann's. Or not Ann's, but something like Annie's maybe.
Okay.
I know the exact thing you're talking about. Yeah, those are delicious.
Yeah,
a little
good.
healthier, I suppose.
But look, I'm going to eat any frozen pizza in front of me.
I will never not eat a frozen pizza if it's in front of me. Absolutely. 1,000%. I could be, and I've done this plenty of times, where maybe you go over to somebody's house and everybody makes really good food, but for the kids, maybe there's a frozen pizza out there, and you still stuff at least one piece of crappy, awful fake pizza down into your belly just because
I've actually seen you do something very similar.
Just because that tastes so good.
This might be cheating, but the Whole Foods pizza, frozen pizzas,
those are good.
really good.
Those are really good.
Really good.
Those actually are. Are they? Now, are we talking the frozen
They
ones?
have
Or the
frozen
refrigerator
ones.
ones.
Okay,
Okay.
but you're not talking refrigerator ones. You're talking frozen ones.
They have actual Whole Foods brand frozen ones in the freezer section that are really good.
I did not know that. I've only had the refrigerator ones.
They're called 365 by Whole Foods. I'm looking at it right now. They look delicious. And now I want frozen pizza.
Yeah.
Well, I would want frozen pizza, Jake, only. It's a gumbo night tonight, baby. We live. And guess what? The timing may be perfect. Because shout out my guy Cullen.
Cold this morning.
He said, I got this text. What a text to wake up to when you're going through brat fall. Your sausage will arrive today. Enjoy. I sent you roasted garlic and rosemary, bacon and brown sugar, apple pie, and andouille.
Apple pie?
Apple pie.
Sausage.
Apple pie sausage. Don't know what it's about, but I will. You know who ain't scared? Me. I'm about to eat that thing up. It makes sense, sweet and savory.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying that. I'm just trying to think like how.
Is it like an apple pie flavoring?
Yeah,
is it like crust or something? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's a very good question. I'm excited to try that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stop you.
Hell no. It comes from a real Cajun market. Hell yeah. He did say he'll take the Pepsi challenge with anyone. So I'll report back, guys. I'll report back. Don't worry.
Hey, what's the Pepsi challenge?
That's just actually. So I got to be honest. I don't exactly know. It's like a taste test, right? That's all it is. It's like I think Pepsi used to do commercials back in the day where they'd have you blind test like Coke and Pepsi and be like,
okay,
you know, what's better? And they're basically saying that look, you could blind eat my sausage and my sausage would taste the best. Which again.
It's not you saying that, right?
Well, I was gonna say, I'm a sausage expert, so I mean, I feel very confident. There are things that you feel confident and qualified in talking about, and for me, especially with the amount of work I've been putting in lately, sausage is one of them.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, has T-Bob ever blind eaten a hot dog?
And like try to name what brand they are, or try to name or just like choose what tastes the best. So I can choose what tastes best. Name the brand could be tough. I've gone a little bougie on my hot dogs.
Now, is it like...
I only eat Iverson hot dogs now.
Wow. Is it like...
Fresh butcher hot dogs only. I know.
Would you be like, close your eyes, open your mouth, go? Or would you be like, I can see the sausage, but I don't know who it belongs to?
I think... I mean, if you're going to do a blind taste test... I think I just have to be blindfolded and just open my mouth and you don't put it in my mouth. I can put it in my own, but yeah, I don't think if the visual element could give away a bit too much. If you were trying to decide what's what. So yeah. I would rather do it completely blind taste and be like, that's a green onion. Or like, okay, that's obviously andouille. Okay, that's flying Hawaiian. That's jalapeno cheddar.
Like Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, this one ran through an onion patch when he's tasting the milk.
I am I'm still very proud of you that you can reference Napoleon Dynamite that quickly.
I love Napoleon.
Alondra, I know. I feel like that should be before your time, the birthplace of the hipster movement. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to this segment.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know how we got there.
Maybe this was like a tribute to Flestering in some ways.
Maybe.
Because I'm a bit upset that I was really hoping to have Matt Flynn on today to talk about Garrett Nussmeier and break down film.
What was his excuse this week?
I just couldn't make it.
Oh, wow. That's a good one, Matt.
But everybody did say, wait, let me see. He said, crap, can't today. Sorry, man, but tell everyone Nuss is awesome. So there you go. Matt Flynn giving you the insight that we get nowhere else. Garrett Nussmeier, awesome. But look, it's all good. I mean, bad timing by him to not be here as the leader of the Nuss bus. Oh, and like the bus is basically just gotten rocket fuel put into the tank.
Yeah, really.
But who knows? We'll probably ball it again this weekend, and then we'll have multiple good plays to break down afterwards.
It's better for him to be absent after the win. Like if Nuss would have played bad and lost, and then he didn't show up. Bad look for Flynn. So
That's true.
At least they win. He gets a pass.
We also didn't call on the frozen pizza expert, which is Hunt Palmer.
Is he really?
Oh, he's like a frozen pizza guy.
Oh,
I think he does
this.
Red Baron.
Okay, I would love again. Now I need to ask him. Then I want to go step deep. Like why Red Baron?
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. Why? What are they doing differently? Is it the crust, like Taylor said? Is it something about the cheese to sauce ratio? What are they doing that separates
them? I typically don't get hungry during this show unless it's with Chef, but
a frozen pizza got you.
It got me. I'm starving.
Yeah, but
I like the bagels.
God.
Little bagel bites?
Bagel bites, yeah. Bagel bites are good.
Bagel bites.
Addicted to them.
Man.
Incredible
With
gaming treat from when you're growing up. You want to talk about my happy place? playing snowboard kids on N64
You
with
had
the
to
boys.
bake them, though. You can't if you microwave them, they're rubbery.
Yeah.
Got
them nice and crispy.
Kind of sickly like that rubbery texture.
I knew you
but
weird like that.
Yeah.
But you're playing N64, and your friend's mom brings up a plate of bagel bites, and then those sugar cookies that come in the roll, the holiday-themed sugar cookies.
Yes.
Oh, a
My
couple
sister
Got
made
the trees,
some.
the turkeys, the ghosts, the pumpkins.
Oh, my God.
My sister made some ghost ones on Sunday.
What good memories.
Ate them up.
What good memories. I should do that for my kids this Friday. It's like video games, sugar cookies, and pizza bagel bites. I once ran for student government, and my entire pitch was that I would get more bagel pizzas in the cafeteria.
I would have voted for you.
Because it was a hot item, and it was not correctly sourced. It wasn't correctly bought, and so it would always run out. I didn't win, though. I didn't win the election.
You didn't win?
I know some people, they don't recognize that. I think I wasn't a part of the system enough. I was a bit of an outsider, trying to shake things up a little too much.
Yeah.
Had no lobbying dollars. All I cared about was more bagel pizzas. A sincerity there that is all too rare in politics, if not non-existent.
This seems really extra, and I've never tried it or thought to try it, but I've seen these videos on Instagram of people making like the Totino's pizza rolls.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. And then they put like a bunch of like butter and like garlic and Parmesan cheese and like mix it all together. I've never tried it though.
I've seen other things like this, and
That's so big back.
I mean, it's very big back, and it's probably tastes good, but it is also a weird thing of, but what am I doing here? Because now I'm kind of cooking.
Right.
Right? It's like
I
I've
wanted
seen
a quick little.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen people take like regular cinnamon rolls, and you can like add a bunch of butter and other stuff, and they puff up and they get mad and they look like gourmet cinnamon rolls. But I'm like, well, but then I'm not just like throwing them on there and putting them in there. So I'd like to try it one day though, just out of curiosity. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, now we can actually talk football. I apologize, guys. More OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to oakparkevents.com. oakparkevents.com. Congratulations, you just got engaged. Well, at Oak Park Events, you can set up a free consultation today. Show your fiance you give a damn, okay? Hey, honey, I'm so excited to marry you. I can't stop thinking about it. And I looked at a couple of great venues. I was just Googling, found a couple of great venues online. Oak Lodge, Park 73. I set us up consultations. We go tour, see what you think. Bam! You give a damn. Brownie points. Starting the relationship on the right foot. And at Oak Park, our wedding venues offer a variety of reception halls to accommodate groups of various sizes. We have full lines of catering services. You can customize the meals however you want with the award-winning in-house chefs. The planning, the coordination, the wedding, the reception, smooth, easy, all-inclusive, turnkey. We've done thousands. Floral arrangements, custom linens, any of it. Go to oakparkevents.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always custom.
Let's get back to breaking down the film on Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back to OTB. Shoot, they said breaking down the film. Do we need to break down the film? Give me a play. Give me a play. Jake, plug in. Plug in. Actually, we don't really have to do a play. Jake, any thoughts on LSU-Arkansas before we get to the rest of this weekend? And it's okay to say no. I don't know if I left anything off that you've been considering when thinking about this game.
No, I mean, honestly, we'll get into probably like the nitty-gritty, maybe little matchups throughout the week, but just handling the situation is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
It's a place that is always going to be turned up for you.
Yeah.
You know, you're a big rival for them. The last 4 games have been decided by 3 points.
Yep.
Now, you've won 7 of the last 8, but they've all been close.
It's always a battle. I cannot go into this game expecting my heart not to palpitate.
Right. So this group of LSU hasn't really had to handle success. They just had their biggest win. How do you handle success? How do you go beat an Ole Miss team where you're an underdog, all the emotion in the stadium, and then go on the road? Now, I love the fact the game's at night because now typically like with traveling with the team, you want it to be like an early game, but for some reason, like I just have it at night.
You're comfortable at night. You're used to that rhythm of the day.
Yes.
When you get in trouble on the road, especially as LSU, it can be 11 a.m.
Yes. It's not what you're used to.
I agree.
And sometimes, and maybe I think you would agree with this, like if it's at night, like it's a big deal.
Yes.
Sometimes like if it's a day game, at least my mind, like coming from the old Jefferson Pilot sports games, I'm like,
It can be a little sleepy. No, I mean, look, in the SEC, objectively, Jake, the lesser games go on during the day. Not to say they don't end up being very good games, but no, you're right. It's not like the Big Ten's kind of always culturally done the opposite.
I make fun of Bobby all the time.
Where they make like 11 a.m.
Like
the big
nothing
one.
says a huge, massive matchup like having coffee with the opening kickoff and rubbing the sleepy out of your eyes still.
It's just like classic Bible Belt stuff. No foreplay, no tension, no build, no excitement. Just like, let's just get straight into missionary. 11 a.m.
He tries to defend it.
2 beers deep.
He tries to defend it. I'm like, Bob, there's like, you don't even have all day to tailgate. He's like, yeah, you get out there like 6. I'm like, okay,
6,
our
I'm
fans get out
warming up.
there like at 8, and they get warmed up for like a 7 o'clock kick.
Yeah, they get out there at 6.
That's true.
And it's like,
and I was like,
6
look,
o'clock kick.
if kickoffs under the lights weren't such a big deal, why does Penn State do the whiteout? And it's the biggest deal in the Big Ten that year.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome.
And why did the Big Ten make a big deal of trying to make night games?
Yeah.
Because that's also when the ratings are highest. And so that's when the money is to be made. I'm with you, though. Even though it juices up that stadium, that's a very good point. I would still rather play this game at night.
Yes.
Because it's what you're used to, and you avoid the kind of sleepiness of that early morning wake up where you're
it's
like, you gotta. It's a weird deal. when you're
Pre-game
used to
meal
going
at
to night.
6.
Yeah. Pre-game meal at 6, and it's not like if you have a night game, breakfast is still kind of chill. You're not feeling like the super anxiety of the game yet, and you're kind of still messing around a little bit. Whereas you just got to be locked in from the time your eyes open if it's an 11 a.m. boy.
Oh, it's super quiet if you have an 11 a.m. kickoff.
Yep.
6 a.m. You're already miserable, and it's just not a word being spoken because hey, you can't talk before a game. That means you're not locked in.
Yeah, that I know exactly.
So you could hear every fork hit every plate. I hated it.
Just a tense atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a tense atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing that meal before you leave for the game is, but that's fine. At that point, you're starting to go through your own. You've already had your morning. You had your little nap. Those are the toughest things, making yourself take that nap during the day to pass the time, to keep your energy levels low, or to keep you from wasting energy, to get your energy up for later. But like, man, when you were playing in the game of the century and it's like 11 a.m. and you got done with meetings, you got to go take a little nap. That's a weird time. Yeah. It's a weird headspace to be in. Truly, the thing I always think about is this is truly the calm before the storm. Like my life's about to get crazy for about 4 hours here in a little bit.
Yeah, and if you weren't because oftentimes when you play at Alabama, you're the primetime game, so you try to watch a little bit of whatever the big time CBS matchup was.
Yeah, have that on the TV as you're falling asleep.
Yeah,
you're like, oh man, that'll be us in a few hours. So crazy to think about, man. All right, when we get back, we'll close out hour number 2 of OTB. And we still have Tay Tay's NFL Story of the Day. I do want to get into the games of this weekend as well. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website. Centralplumbing.org. Go there today. For 50 years, y'all, they've been solving your plumbing problems with flat rate pricing, licensed bond insured employees, excellent warranty coverage. But it's not just repairs. If you need you want to get like the bathroom of your dreams, you like a bathroom remodel, maybe a tankless water heater or something like that. Like that's a great gift idea for whoever is your kind of the interior designer in your family. You're like, hey, guess what? You get to redesign the bathroom with Central Plumbing. Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
You'll see right there on the website that you can upgrade at your home and your business. You also see 225-925-8552, 24/7, 365, game day, holiday, weekend, does not matter. They will be there. But check out the upgrades while you're there. Check out what they can do for you at your home or business. Go tankless today with a tankless water heater, centralplumbing.org.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 9.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Welcome back off the bench. Steve Jacob Landra, Tay hanging out with you. Reminding you to go to K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com. The only thing you'll be blinded by is the incredible wealth of knowledge and experience at K to Z as they fight the sun on your behalf. Nobody knows more about Ray Baker and all of his conniving little tricks. And Brandon Barton, the team over there at K to Z, and you have them out to your home. They immediately look at how your home interacts with the sun at every portion of the day, and then they're like, okay, here are your options. Here's what we can do, and we can do all things, right? I don't care. Starter home, home of your dreams. Bring it to the next level with K to Z. Tie the room together aesthetically, while also getting the functional benefits of cooling out the house. Maybe taking glare off the television. Maybe you black out a baby room, right? So that baby doesn't wake up. Sleeps till 9 a.m. even. Okay? Drop down exterior shading. All of this. K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com. Jake, so this is Brooks Austin is a guy who well, I don't know how deep I need to get into the full backstory. Brooks Austin, he calls himself the film guy. He covers Georgia and all football. I actually like Brooks a lot. Very confident dude. And he asks
definitely confident.
Yes, he asks very filmy questions to the coaches all the time. And I don't know exactly what the original take that spurred this was, but it's about man coverage in Alabama, I think. Because Alabama sucks defensively right now. And Siskel and McCready are a podcast with Neil McCready, who's a journalist.
Ole Miss?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. And Siskel, I think, used to be player personnel development maybe
Cisco?
at Siskel?
Cisco, from
Siski.
Drew Hill?
Sissy. I'm thinking of Ebert and Siskel.
No, you're thinking of Cisco from Drew Hill, Thong Song.
No, I was thinking of Cisco from Snow Dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know Drew Hill.
Well, Cisco. He's the lead singer of Drew Hill, Thong Song.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, Drew Hill? No, but Cisco sings Thong Song.
Yeah, but Cisco is the lead singer of Drew Hill.
Yes, but I've never seen Drew Hill. I have seen Snow Dogs.
Have you seen Thong Song?
Do I want to have sex with a pig this weekend? I mean, come on. So Siski and McCready were talking about Brooks's question. Well, they were kind of subtweeting him. AJ McCarron is on the show. Here's what they had to say.
I'm tired of everybody going, oh, the coaches were running. I saw some internet guru bitching because they were playing man-free against Vanderbilt all week. I'm like, holy guy, they've been playing man-free since Newt Rodney rolled it out. If you want to criticize coaches, okay, I think the criticism's got to change as far as where you're criticizing them. Everybody wants to criticize scheme and all that.
The average fan needs to talk about what Siski's saying. Don't talk about concepts and running different coverages. Oh, we should have played cover 2. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. And I hate to say that, to the average fan, but it's the honest truth.
The football IQ stuff, that needs to be on coaches, okay? Criticize out of them. And if you have the resources, and you're not acquiring the correct talent or criticize them. We're going to criticize Lane Kiffin today because he lost the game about play calling. No, if you want to criticize him on the acquisition of talent up front. Hey, I tell you what, we need to throw ball tight end. We need to throw ball in the middle. We need to throw quick game. You're going to freaking tell Lane Kiffin about scheme? The guy's forgot more scheme than you'll ever know. Go criticize him about not getting the right guys. Wear them out. Criticize them about not going down. Wear their ass out. If you want to criticize them on culture,
you see people on Twitter that are so-called gurus now and breaking down film, and I'm like, I can look at somebody, he's never played before. If I went and got on the whiteboard and just said, hey, tell me what a Sonic Blitz is. Tell me if they play palms right here. What if they're bracketing?
I can answer the Sonic Blitz. What they do is they take the ice cream thing.
Yeah.
And hold on. Man, I didn't say a word, but I didn't interrupt you when you were on your thing.
I just laughed.
And you get like a couple of peanut butter cups and you put it in the ice cream
All right,
thing.
It's done. So first off, I disagree with this on a few different levels. First, criticize however the hell you want. Now, if me and Jake see a take in the chat that we disagree with, we'll tell you we disagree. We'll tell you why we disagree. But this idea that you have to somehow confine your criticisms to what somebody else tells you is acceptable or not is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to continue to fight against the notion that you can't know football if you didn't play football. That is just so patently absurd and patently untrue. See a lot of people that can break down film to an excellent level, a lot of people that have great knowledge of the game that never played. You see a ton of NBA head coaches that never played. You see a ton of NFL head coaches or coaches nowadays more and more that didn't play. And also, as far as Brooks go, who they're kind of talking about the entire time, he played 5 years of college and he watches film constantly.
What position he play? I'm just curious.
O-line. Played,
really?
Yeah, center.
All right, say no.
That's
Say
right, baby. That's right.
Like, yeah, I have. Now, is there some experiences that T-Bob and I can? Oh, we don't have time.
No. We ran that. That clip went way longer than I thought it would. We can revisit it on the other side. More OTB coming up.
Off the bench.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. The number to call if you want to let them know you came from OTB is 225-267-8003. ITI for a better life, guys. In just 2 years, you can get a degree. It'll play a key role in getting you a career. Change the trajectory of your life. And it's right there off Airline Highway. We got financial aid available through multiple different avenues for those who qualify. Very flexible class schedules, so you can be working full-time and taking night classes. Campus right there off of Airline. They're incredible, man. Change your life for the better. Invest in yourself. ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu.
Yeah, when you go to the homepage T-Bob just gave you, you'll see just like kind of an overview of their campus, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But we always encourage you, you can schedule a campus tour on the website. Do it today. You'll be blown away right off Airline Highway, iticollege.edu.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Wednesday, October 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 73 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll talk about the top college football games coming up this weekend. We'll continue our discussion with the NFL and a whole lot more. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Happy Halloween! Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Enter at your own risk.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
It might even horrify you.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What up, y'all? Welcome in hour number 3 of OTB. Taylor cannot wait for his NFL story. The Day-Day's just been on pins and needles to crap on Jerry Jones all morning long. We'll get there. Relax. Not time yet. Oh, that's not your story.
It's not the NFL story. I just thought we were going to
So the Jerry Jones story exists independently to you. Okay. Yeah, we can do both.
No,
we can do both.
No, we ain't doing that. We ain't talking Cowboys on here unless we have to, unless we're forced to.
Well, I would say this, though. The Jones one maybe has a little bit of relevance
it's always
to
negative.
us.
The Cowboys are terrible.
Because he came after the radio. He came after us. So we got to stick up for our brethren.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Local, Dallas station.
Yeah, 105.3 The Fan. He basically threatened to have the two guys fired if they kept asking him tough questions.
Before we get there, I want Jake to be able to finish what we were talking about last hour, right? Where you have the Sissel and McCready pod. I can't remember the name.
Siskel and Ebert. That's what we're going to call it.
Whatever.
I can't.
McCready and
Sisco.
Sissy.
I like Cisco.
T-Bob's like, sizzle.
Yeah, McCready and Sizzle podcast. They have AJ McCarron on. And they're basically saying, you can't criticize coaches when it comes to scheme because they know so much more than you'll ever know. And if you want to criticize the other things, go ahead. And it's a weird take for them to take because they're absolutely going to get into criticizing scheme. Or if they want to in the future, they're going to feel awkwardly insecure about it and have to preface it. We'll be like, well, actually, in this case, I'm allowed to because blah, 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 whatever. I'm a firm believer that you can learn ball, you can know ball without having played. And it's not to say your takes are always right, but this idea that you again, because like we said, me and Jake, a lot of times we'll see something in the chat, be like, actually, no, we think that's completely wrong. Here's what we see. But yeah, feels free. Speak your truth. And the guy they're accusing of, Brooks, again, he does know ball. He played.
Yeah.
And nobody gets everything 100% right. Again, we're all looking from the outside looking in. I don't know exactly like what their pass pro rules are or what this or that is, right? Like, so you don't get 100% right, but you can still try to interpret it to the best of your ability. You can still see if things are going badly and say, man, maybe they need to make some changes, whatever. And as Brooks goes on to point out, right, head coaches that didn't play past high school, Alondra, who was it?
It was Mike McDaniel, Mike Leach, and Dan Lanning. Yeah,
there you go. Okay, and they definitely know ball, right?
I mean, that part even didn't even. Yeah, you can learn. Like, there's guys that, air quotes, played college football, but they didn't play.
Yeah,
like Norv Turner, great offensive mind. He sat behind Dan Fouts at Oregon.
Yeah,
and he was a backup. Norv knows a lot of football. He was the OC when the Cowboys won all those Super Bowls, 3 in a row.
There you go.
You know, he's a head coach. You know, won playoff games. So yeah, that part. Now, do I think there's experiences at T-Bob and I because we played like some of the nitty gritty, like just not even plays. I'm just talking about like preparation and like maybe some different things like that. Sure, like life experience.
Yeah, life experience is different, and but that's not X's and O's.
It's not.
You can study X's and O's.
You absolutely
like you can learn. Especially
There's great
nowadays.
high school football coaches across this country that never played above the high school range.
Yeah. Well, and especially nowadays, like the resources out there, like Coach Dan Casey is an awesome follow on Twitter.
Let me tell you something. Dan Casey is like, if you have a tackle football team that's just getting started and you want to just have like 8 ball plays that are going to trick everybody, like he's a good follow.
His breakdowns on Twitter and he's got a few books now.
Yeah.
Like he has like a kind of a, like Jake's talking about, like a starter's guide book. He's got like I think it's even like key to zone read. Like you should go, but he had a thread the other day, Jake, of just a few Vikings cut ups that was like, oh man, there's some really cool stuff being done. Like there's
the Lions yesterday. Yeah.
That's what it was. Lions. This awesome, not Vikings, Lions, this awesome bubble screen where they make it look like power, only the back blocks keep running and they lead the screen. It's like so genius because it looks like a back block with a lineman pulling to where power would be, only it's all actually going the opposite direction. It's just something about the back block becoming the lead blocks of the screen is so perfect and so obvious. How have I not thought about it before? It's like, mwah.
Yeah, maybe we could show some of that. I don't know, maybe not today, but maybe throughout the week. So you can learn it. Now, the only thing that I ever ask, if someone is in our position here now, and if they're like, okay, this offensive line can't run block. They're terrible at run blocking. Like, okay, well, tell me why. Give me examples of why they're bad in run blocking. Again, like, if you say it, you just got to, like, I appreciate somebody showing.
It could be as simple as, well, I mean, look at the stats. They're not running it well.
Like something. Because you are entitled to your opinion and you can give it, but I just always appreciate, okay, here's the opinion and here's what I have to back it up. You know, this team can't really get after the quarterback. You look up, they're 13th in the SEC in sacks or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know, there you go. There you go. I don't need you. Now, I love breaking down film. It's one of my favorite things to do. You don't have to do that.
No.
But just have something to back up your argument.
You should follow Dan Casey, Scott.
You should, absolutely.
He's a great follow. Kirk is. Again, it's been one of the more fun parts about playing that NCAA game, though I haven't been playing a ton lately. All scary movies is kind of taking over all the entertainment time. But it's been fun to like think about football in ways that I haven't in a long time in terms of coverages and seeing things. And actually, like, I'm a firm believer that playing those games will make you have a better football mind.
Probably now. I mean, I don't like when we were growing up,
especially nowadays.
When we were growing up on video games, you had cover 1, 2, 3 quarters, which you cover 4.
I mean, now
and maybe like man across the board.
Now there's the ability, Jake, to where I can show you a cover 2 shell, but actually be running cover 3. Like you can do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Nowadays on the you can basically adjust anything.
That was the biggest adjustment in the NFL was like in college, not a lot of people that don't play receiver quarterback know coverages. But,
No, not at all.
I mean, it's not something that you really had to do. Now, in protection, if you did learn them, it helped you just a ton. But you were going to get cover 1, you were going to get 2, you were going to get quarters, you were going to get 3. Sometimes you would get 6 or 8, depending on what you call it. Again, going back to what people call stuff, quarter halves, which can be 6 or 8, depending on what you call it. Like, that was kind of it. And like, if a team played bear, like, oh my God, they're playing bear. Now, like, you see all kinds of stuff. Like, because the jump to the NFL, like, they're going to show you something, and by the snap of the ball, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
It is never going to look like how
in
it started.
In college, it was just like, oh, look, there's a safety stack behind the slot. He must be coming.
Exactly. Alert! Alert!
Like,
It's
oh,
like,
okay,
no,
so
he's good.
As deep as it went. But you have limited time in college to study. And you kind of have limited time with your coaches, which sounds crazy, but you do. In the NFL, you have unlimited time. And so you can see and you have the smartest minds with the best athletes working on it. And so you can see how much that opens things up.
Another part about that clip, and I don't remember who said it, and I'm just kind of breaking it down.
Sissel.
When somebody says, oh yeah, Cisco. When somebody says, like, I bet they don't know what a sonic blitz is.
Oh, that was AJ.
That was AJ. So you do have to realize that there's some blitzes that everybody calls by the same name, cross dog.
Yeah.
Everybody calls cross dog, where 2 linebackers cross each other. They come right in the middle. Everybody kind of calls that cross dog. But for the most part, everybody's got a different name.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes corner blitz is cat. Sometimes it's cowboy. And I told y'all off the air, like, we called Will free safety. We called it Lynch blitz because John Lynch crushed Norv with it early in his career, and that's how Norv remembered it. We called Sam strong safety strike. Not everybody calls it that. We had America's blitz. Like, everybody calls something different.
Yes.
It's just the way it is. Like, and how you learn it, that's how you're going to roll it. Again, there's some cross dog. I would say is probably one of them.
I mean, and there's like blitz like concepts, right? Like a green dog where like, okay.
Try explaining that on the radio broadcast when you got about 6 seconds. I tried this weekend.
Okay, like, so the back stayed in the block,
works.
so now I'm good to go and add to the pass rush. But yeah. So yes, I didn't like that from AJ, and I worked with AJ, and I actually really like AJ. I think he's funny. He's got, obviously, that man will forget more football than I will ever know. He's still playing professional football in multiple leagues.
Yeah.
But I didn't like any part of that.
No.
There's a bunch of Alabama fans just pissed because Brooks talked about them playing too much, I guess, man against Vandy.
Is Brooks a Georgia fan? Like we consider himself Georgia fans?
Yes, he would probably push back against that, but he's like any of us. He has his he mainly covers Georgia, and then he has a lot of I would say he has Georgia bias. Same with it, I have a lot of LSU bias.
Wait, yeah, you played for LSU.
Yeah, I know. But and it's like it's just whatever. It's a team that you're a fan of.
You mean like you have Nebraska bias?
Yeah. No, I mean no.
Yes.
I remember I chose Rutgers to win. A little reverse psychology there.
Rutgers
By the way,
is down bad right now.
Now that you mentioned Nebraska, wait, why are they down so bad?
They got housed by Wisconsin.
Bro, Wisconsin's secretly getting better.
I know.
Secretly
Finally
getting better.
Man, I love Luke Fickell. He comes
Everybody
on the show
does,
all the
apparently.
time.
Everybody does that talks about him. Seems like a man's man.
He is. God, what did he call me and Bobby the other day? I don't remember. I'll think about it. Something about
the Milk Bros?
No, something about meatheads, and he was making fun of us.
The Meathead Milky Bros? The Meathead Milk Boys? The Meathead Milky Boys.
You know what we could do next segment?
Me?
I think it's very interesting of when you go Power 4 conferences, who we almost know are contenders, and then the teams that we have underneath them, and we just kind of assuming that the contenders are going to be the teams, but there's teams in every conference, every Power 4 conference, that I think deserve to get a little bit more respect. And we're just kind of assuming that these top teams that they're already going to be there are going to be there. And if this year's taught us anything, we're going to have chaos.
Yeah. I mean, look, I already told you, this is my favorite AP top 25 I've seen in years. I love this idea. We can do it next here on OTB. Real quick, reminder, go to Trash Rangers, guys. TrashRangers.com is the website. You can go check them out today. All of your trash removal needs. If you live in Livingston or Ascension, residential, like your home pickup, you go to trashrangers.com, just a couple of minutes, you see your day, select your number of cans. It's so easy to make the switch. They're reliable, they're efficient. They send you texts the night before it's your day to remind you. Get your nagging husband Taylor off your back. Leave me alone. And if you're a business anywhere in the listening area and you need front load dumpsters anywhere, emptied anywhere from 1 to 6 days a week, big giant roll-off dumpsters for big project. Again, we're local. We give a damn. We understand the flexible needs of being a small business. We understand how to best serve you and your home or your business. Go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com. That sounds very fun, Jake, doing that next week. Real quick, though, Nebraska, Indiana this weekend. Signetti versus Rule.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, big noon kickoff. Elite coaching matchup. Both teams coming off of byes. Nebraska traveling to Indiana. The black shirt defense against Curtis Rourke. Taylor, I bet you didn't know this, smart guy. Curtis Rourke, currently the highest rated quarterback in the entire country.
Yeah, who didn't know that too, Bob?
It goes Rourke, Milroe, Ward, Dart, Castellanos. Again, shout out LSU, shut down Dart. But yeah, right now, Curtis Rourke balling, Jake. 11 yards per attempt, 14 touchdowns, 2 picks, 74% completion. Signetti. But black shirt defense, Raiola, probably a roster that's maybe a little more talented man-to-man. Not maybe it is, objectively. Even without a work. But freshman quarterback for Nebraska. Curtis Rourke's in his 6th year of football. He played 5 years at Ohio. What you got? No, you say it. You know what it's about. It ain't. Look, Kurt's good. Actually, I don't know.
I'm going with the Cowboy Killer, Sig. Nettie.
No. No. I mean, I actually was kind of there with you yesterday, and then in talking out a little bit, I kind of started to come around a little bit more to Nebraska. But
the game's not in Lincoln, correct?
I know. Nope. They got to go to Indiana. I mean, obviously it becomes high score, and you don't stand a chance. But I don't know, man. Illinois is really good. Look what Nebraska did against Illinois. Is Indiana better than Illinois? Even though Luke Altmaier threw 4 touchdowns against Nebraska, and it's like, okay, well, Curtis Rourke is Luke Altmaier on steroids.
Yeah. I like Indiana.
All right. Well, coming up next, let's look at the conferences. Yes?
Real quick, I have a question from a listener.
Oh, yeah, hit me.
Is that movie, What's Inside, about a guy with a briefcase? They're trying to find it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. There is a guy with a briefcase.
Well, there you go, Brian LeBlanc.
Yes. It's on Netflix, guys. It's What's Inside. I believe it's a 2024 release.
It is. It's brand new. Yeah.
Yeah. Go check it out. It's What's Inside. Cannot recommend it enough. Taylor loved it as well. I think everybody should check it out. All right, let's get to some of your, who are we taking for granted in each conference? That's funny. Champ says, well, that movie sounds boring. Yeah, it's just actually about a guy with a briefcase.
He's holding a briefcase the entire movie. It's a silent film. There's no dialogue.
All right, more OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon, get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, 225-888-8888. Guys, remember I told you a couple weeks ago, Will Campbell becoming the first member from the football team on the G team this season. And, I'm always telling you to go follow him at Get Gordon on social media to see some great content with your favorite athletes. They done gone gator hunting with Will Campbell. Will Gordon. They done gone gator hunting with Will Campbell. So if you want to watch your favorite tackle, get some big boys in Lockport. You can do that now by going on Get Gordon. GetGordon.com, GetGordon.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, remember all the things that you can do. You can find past client results, cases they handle for you. You can ask a question on the website. A little chat box pulls up. You can get a consultation set up. All that right there on GetGordon.com. And remember, you can always pick up the phone, too. It's your area code in Louisiana, all the way from Shreveport to Houma and everywhere in between. Your area code followed by 888-8888.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Welcome back to OTB. Alondra's Yankees keep on winning. Shut up.
I was watching it on the plane last night.
Shut your mouth.
And the guy next to me was a Guardians fan.
That didn't even feel like Guardians.
I know, he said.
Can't get used to it.
I know. He was like, what's the score? And I was like, I think it was 3-2 at the time. And he was like, Yankees. And then he said Indians. And then he was like, oh, my bad, Guardians. And I was like, bro.
That series is 1-1 Guardians-Mets, right? Or no, sorry. Yankees-Guardians is 2-0.
Yeah.
And then Dodgers-Mets is 1-1.
I believe so.
Yep.
Damn. So did you make fun of him when he lost him? Or you like,
No.
nerd?
The game wasn't final when I got off the plane.
Okay.
But we were up 4-2.
All right, that's enough Yankee talk. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com. All your outdoor living needs right there at Pinnacle. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, guys. Go to the website, PECbuilt.com. Look at the gallery for yourself. You are going to be blown away. Pools, outdoor living areas, outdoor kitchens. You want to put turf in your backyard. You need any size or type of fence, bulkheads, pergolas, any outdoor construction. If you want to put a putting green back there, okay? We build the spaces, you build the memories. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, my God, look at that. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. All right, Jake, let's dive in. Conference by conference. What conference? Give us the Big Ten. Give us that Big Ten college football music.
We start alphabetical order here. You're going to go to ACC?
Let's go to the ACC. And remember, for this conversation, we're looking at your kind of traditional favorites versus who's lurking and could be just waiting in the wings to make some noise.
So I think we would agree that Clemson and Miami are the favorites. Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you've got Clemson, you've got Miami. Now, Miami has a couple of games where very easily they could have lost against Virginia Tech if a call goes against them. And that's what I'm saying. But if you see that and you're the teams that are trying to get into that top tier, that certainly gives you hope. So you've got Clemson, you've got Miami. Well, let's not forget the Pitt Panthers right now. They are 6-0. They've got their quarterback Eli Holstein. They were 3-9 last year, so they've completely changed the dynamic of their team. Yarnell was supposed to be the starter, but that's one of the beauties about the transfer portal. Never, ever would Pitt have the opportunity to get somebody like Eli Holstein, who's sitting there at Alabama, wants to make a change. They go get him, and now they've got their guy. SMU, they're 5-1. Their only loss coming against BYU, who's an undefeated team right now atop the Big 12. And so you've got 4 ranked teams. I think Pitt, I think SMU. You could probably throw some other Syracuse, Louisville into the conversation, but I don't think that's settled. I don't think it's just going to be Clemson and Miami. I have belief in Pitt and SMU because of Eli Holstein and because of Jennings at quarterback for SMU.
Yeah, so Eli Holstein right now. Let me look it up where he ranks in the ACC. He is the 5th rated passer in the ACC, but he's throwing for 283 a game, which is 3rd in the conference. He's completing 63.5% of his passes, 8.5 yards per attempt. That's very solid. 15 tuds, 5 picks. But then also, and this is with sacks factored in, he's averaging 50 yards a game on the ground as well. It's a big boy. Shout out Eli Holstein. Jake, so interesting in this conversation, Louisville, Miami playing this weekend.
Yep.
Louisville winners of 4 of the last 6. Won last year by 7. Miami going to Louisville. They had a players-only meeting. Or is it the other way around? Where's the game at? You remember?
Wait, who had the players-only meeting?
Miami, which I love.
The game is at Louisville.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I love the players-only meeting because it's not a reactive, the season's in the trash one. It's a, hey, guys, look, we're okay, but we've been messing around. Like, we got to lock in, look at the opportunity we have. Let's bring it to the next level. I think Miami goes into Louisville, comes out with a win. Cam Ward, baby.
So I don't
Cammy
know.
Ward.
I don't know when it comes. I'm not sure which week it happens. Miami will not go on the road to Louisville, on the road to Georgia Tech, and on the road to Syracuse and come out undefeated.
These Canes will. Just wait. Get ready, Jake.
We gonna see.
What about this weekend? I don't know anything about Louisville except that Tyler Shuck has played 7 years of college football now.
Minimum.
Y'all want to hear the fun?
The 2 losses that they have are both one-score losses on the road against Notre Dame and then versus SMU.
Pretty good loss, actually, there.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to hear the funniest stat you could possibly imagine? Tyler Shuck was Oregon's starting quarterback for a Pac-12 championship team coached by Mario Cristobal. That's how long Tyler Shuck's been playing football. He was Cristobal's quarterback at Oregon that won a Pac-12 title.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, bro. I feel like Cristobal's been in Miami for a minute. Shuck's been in Louisville for a minute.
That was probably right after Herbert, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He backed up Herbert first.
Yeah. He's veteran. All right, so if you had to pick one ACC team that was not Clemson or Miami.
Okay, not Clemson or Miami.
Which one you going with? I think
I'm going Pitt because I've seen him win in a few different ways.
That's
last
a great
week
point.
Defense,
Rock
other
fight
weeks
last
offense.
week,
yeah, give me Pitt. And Narduzzi's been there before. Like Pitt just won the AC a couple years ago.
I agree. I want to go Pitt, but I think SMU's schedule's easier.
They do have the easiest Power 4 schedule in the country.
And so for that, I'll go SMU, but I do love Pitt, and Clemson has to go to Pitt. They've struggled there before, and I think they'll struggle there again. Not saying they'll lose, but it's not going to be easy. All right, the Big 12.
The Big 12.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
What a chaotic energy conference. BYU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, all 3-0 right now. Unlike the ACC.
What? Texas Tech? I haven't even watched Texas Tech this year.
Yeah.
What?
Texas Tech's 5-1 on the season.
I know.
They've
what?
only lost to Washington State. So
they're the ones that beat Arizona State, too.
In other conferences, I could give you at least one. I can give you at least one. Like, okay, here's the top tier. I still don't think there's a top tier. I love BYU, Iowa State. I think they're doing great things. I still think this is set up for so much chaos. Arizona State can beat anybody. I think Colorado can beat anybody, and they're not certainly towards the top. I mean, Oklahoma State, who was a preseason number 2 team in the conference, is 0-3 in conference play.
Bro, Kansas is 0-3 and 1-5.
And they were
lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, and they were picked 4th in the preseason.
They had the best playoff odds of any Big 12 team entering the year.
You know who was picked dead last in this conference in the media poll?
Who?
Arizona State.
Shout out Kenny Dillingham. Doing work, 5-1, 2-1.
And just beat Utah.
This is crazy. Utah, Oklahoma State, and Kansas are all at the bottom.
Utah, Oklahoma State, and Kansas have a combined 1 conference win.
Also, I'm ready to fire Neil Brown again, dude. I'm so over him.
You trying to get Jimbo in there?
Wait, so is there even, do we just pick the, in this case, Jake, there are no traditional favorites. So, I don't know who I like because I haven't seen enough Iowa State.
Great defense.
I'll watch him this weekend. I saw him against Iowa. That's the last time I watched them. I have not watched Texas Tech at all. I've watched Arizona State against Texas State. I think Arizona State's probably still a little too young, a little too flawed, but they have great fight.
Mean, nasty, tough for sure.
I mean, give me BYU, dude. I'll just go chalky here.
Honestly,
tough loss for Colorado. They could have been sitting there at 3-0.
When you look at the remaining schedule outside of the Holy War, it probably is BYU. They're probably going to be favorites in every single one of those games.
BYU in the 12-team playoff?
What is this?
That's the good stuff.
1991? I don't know. When Ty Detmer played.
Shout out Todd Heap. He's out there celebrating somewhere.
First BYU player that comes to your mind outside of that.
Jim McMahon.
That's a great one. Taylor.
Taysom Hill.
That's a good answer.
All right, Tanner Mangum.
That's a good. Taysom Hill is a good answer. I was trying to get you. Alondra, anybody?
Could not name one.
Yeah, you could.
Stick white guys.
Yeah, you could. Left-handed quarterback. San Francisco 49ers.
Oh. Brock Purdy?
No, could run.
Wait,
left-handed.
Left-handed. His last
He's not
name is
left-handed.
in the school name. He's related to the founder. Brigham Young.
He backed up Joe Montana.
No idea.
Steve Young.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's right there. Right there.
That's crazy. I mean,
there is
Steve
a
Young
white guy
is
in my
literally of
head.
the Young family. He
Yeah.
was like literal royalty playing at BYU.
I mean, yeah.
And then Jim McMahon's just like the most degenerate BYU player that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not BYU vibes at all.
Great stories.
Jim McMahon wasn't soaking. You know,
Maybe he was, and he didn't.
No.
Oh,
He
was
didn't
going
need a
full
hump
out.
jumper.
He was going full
He didn't
out.
need a hump buddy. You know, Jim McMahon was doing his thing. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
It's lucky he didn't get
by the way,
suspended.
Like that kid from the
basketball team.
the tournament.
My father-in-law was with the Bears in '86, and he says Jim McMahon, awesome teammate.
Yeah.
Awesome teammate.
Yeah, how could he not be? He's doing crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Probably partying and getting girls all the time. Turns out a lot of guys like that. All right, where are we going next?
I'm tripping. Steve Sarkisian went to BYU.
He did play quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh. Get your little Texas energy the hell up out of here, Alondra.
Just got back from there.
I know. Ugh.
All right.
The only thing I want to do in Texas is see your family part, and then I'm leaving.
We
It's
should go.
literally it.
It's so funny how much he hates Texas.
I know.
I think
no.
it's so cucky how much y'all love him.
He said.
She's from Texas, though.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
from there.
She can be a Texas
Yeah,
fan. She's from there.
allowed to. You.
Someone at Don
We
Juan
never-
asked me
I just don't have
something.
anything against
You're a Cowboys fan.
you. You are a Cowboys
It's not a
fan.
Texas Longhorns fan.
Just shut up. Same thing.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
actually
much.
not. They're
It's
actually
kinda-
two different leagues.
No, it's very
Be quiet.
similar. Very similar.
You're making me angry. Yes, Lon?
Someone at Don Juan asked me where I was from or something. Oh no, he asked me if I was from here, and I was like, no, I'm from Texas. And T-Ball was like, that's the only downside of Alondra.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, man, I know.
All right, let's
I
go.
also asked you if you were honored to work on Whiskey and
and
Wine.
I said yes, and you tried to
Shut it down
Yes.
because no, you're not honored to be. I mean, it's a
an
job.
honor.
You're paid to do a job. You do a great job. Alondra's been doing this long enough. She's beyond the point of being honored to do work.
I am. I
That
love
was
you
my
both.
point.
I mean, I think your work on Whiskey and Wine is like T-Bob first. Like he noticed. He's like, "Oh, Alondra's really good at her job."
Yes, dude. Yes.
I remember him telling me that.
We used to always have problems at some point before. Anyway, all right, let's go to break, then pick this game up on the other side so we can stay on time a little bit here. Look at that. Engineering a game-winning drive here, guys. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You need a rent, you need a buy, you need a lease, you need whatever. You need All-Star off of Airline in Goodwood. Very conveniently located. Join me in the minivan gang, the MVG. I was talking to someone the other day. I don't want to name names, but they've heard me talk about Murdoch Mini for years, right? This entire time, inexplicably, they thought I was driving a blacked out Mini Cooper. Okay, which is objectively very funny. If I was just driving around in a completely blacked out interior, exterior Mini Cooper. But no, minivan, Toyota Sienna. The vehicle's so nice, I got it twice. And you should maybe think about it. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, when you go to that website, you'll see all the options. No Mini Coupes, but that's okay. You don't want to be driving a Mini Coupe. You want to be driving a Sienna minivan or a Tundra or a Tacoma or a Highlander or a 4Runner. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day. And without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Welcome back. All right, let's dive in. Big Ten. Big Ten next, right? Yeah.
All right, so I think we'd all agree 3, right?
We agree Indiana, Oregon, Penn State. Yeah.
I was going to go Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah, we're the top 3.
Being the 3.
Top 3.
No, look, trust me when I say I want to go right there with you. But right, those 3,
yes,
we agree there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Not all right, so you've got 3. Now, we think that the Big Ten is going to get potentially 4 teams into the college football playoff. Like 3, that's almost guaranteed. All right, so if you have your three, who's going to be that next one? Now, you've got Indiana, who comes in at number 16. They're 3-0 in conference. Illinois is 2-1 in conference play, 5-1 overall. You've got Nebraska, who's 5-1 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Iowa right now 4-2, 2-1 in conference play. Michigan, you're out of it. We're not even talking about you. You can't throw a forward pass.
Yeah.
So how many teams do we think are behind the top three?
I'm not putting Iowa in there because they're second loss. I'm not either. You can't get in as a 4 team with
I would put
second loss.
Indiana, Nebraska, Illinois. Of the teams that have a chance still.
Illinois, Nebraska, Indiana, for me, in that order.
I'm
giving Illinois because they got the head-to-head over Nebraska, and I am going to choose to keep the faith with my corn boys in the black shirt defense that this week, and they can handle Curtis Rourke and company. I mean, if Cignetti pulls this off, what the hell, man? Like, the dude's just unbelievable. He's already different.
Google me then.
I mean, he straight up got in that basketball. When they introduced him at the basketball game, he straight up was just like, Purdue sucks, and Ohio State and Michigan do too. Yeah. And sure enough, who sits alone atop the Big Ten? Indiana, 3-0.
All right,
technically Oregon and
let's go over Illinois' schedule. What they have remaining. They've got Michigan coming up this weekend at home. You're at Oregon.
Shoot.
Minnesota at home.
Dub.
Michigan State at home.
Dub.
At Rutgers.
Dub.
At Northwestern. They're gonna be 10-2.
I mean, with
their losses being at Penn State and at Oregon.
With the way that Altmaier's playing, I mean, if Burt pulls off 10-2 at Illinois, let's go, dude.
All right, so here's what Indiana has remaining on their schedule. Nebraska at home.
Yep.
Washington at home.
Okay.
At Michigan State.
Yeah.
Michigan at home.
Okay.
At Ohio State. Purdue.
That's not super friendly.
Doesn't an 11-1 Indiana get an at-large
absolutely. 11-1, absolutely. Because at that point, you'd have wins over Michigan. You'd have win over Nebraska, who probably finished pretty good. You probably lose to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I have trouble seeing Indiana I have trouble seeing them beat Michigan and Nebraska, no? Even with Michigan's inability to throw a forward pass?
I think Nebraska's the more difficult game.
Really?
I do. I am so down right now on Michigan.
You're like me with Tennessee.
They are putting their defense in the worst possible scenarios, and you're lucky you've got 4 Sunday players over there.
I know.
But even those Sunday players eventually are going to be like, hey, I can't do it anymore.
I mean, you got Mason Graham, Will Johnson, maybe 2 of the best defenders in the entire country. Not Kenneth Copeland. What's his name? The other interior D lineman? I always want to call him Kenneth Copeland, which I don't even know.
Who's Kenneth Copeland?
I have no idea.
No, Ken Copeland. He's the preacher.
Oh yeah,
remember the COVID guy?
Yeah,
he was going to blow it away.
He's going to blow it away.
Who is
Ken Copeland?
Who is the other D lineman, Jake?
I can only think of Ken Copeland right now.
Yeah, my bad. All right.
The only name, and not Junior Colston. He plays for the Chargers, who once did play for Michigan a year ago. Nebraska has at Indiana, at Ohio State, UCLA at home, at USC, Wisconsin, at Iowa.
God, that is a freaking brutal schedule. So they're not making it. I mean, honestly, the Big Ten, they're getting the 3 in.
They're getting the 3 in, maybe Indiana.
Yeah.
Can we agree there? You think
I
Illinois
would
has
give
a chance?
Illinois and Indiana pretty equal chances in that regard.
That's fair because they're
they don't play each other though, right?
Each other, no.
All right, SEC.
Is it crazy to say that the SEC right now only has 1 team truly in the top tier? Now we know way more going to make it, but
right now
it's hard to put anybody outside of Texas just because. Right now, you've got
Texas is the last team that has the ability in the country to stand alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because right now you've got A&M, Texas, LSU all undefeated in SEC play. Then you've got teams that we feel like are going to be a part of the conversation, starting with Georgia and Alabama.
Yep.
And then you've got the other group of Tennessee, Mizzou, and Ole Miss has enough left on their schedule where they potentially could get back in it. And then
they just have to beat
you've got
Georgia.
the let's get weird Arkansas and Vanderbilt.
I think
the SEC is maybe the most difficult to kind of predict and project what it's going to be.
I think it is such a sad moment for A&M that here they sit, the only SEC team 3-0 in the conference. They're 5-1. They're actually leading the SEC.
Yeah.
And all we do is slobber all over Texas all day. It's like, I mean, you want to talk about some real little brother getting overshadowed energy.
That's a great point.
I mean, they're 5-1, 3-0 in the conference. They're the only 3-0 team. You Google it, they're on top of the leaderboard, right above Texas. And then all we do is slob on that Texas knob. Crazy. But I get it. Because, Texas looks awesome. In fact, that same, and now, we'll see how it goes this weekend, but remember, the analytical breakdown we showed the graphic of from Football Outsiders of LSU Ole Miss, where it gave Ole Miss a 67% chance of winning. That same breakdown has Texas with a 75% chance of beating Georgia and Austin this weekend. And honestly, that's probably what Ole Miss would have been if it had been on the road. Although I don't know how much that takes it into account.
So, Georgia, we think of them as really good defensively, right?
They're not, though.
Well, you know what I mean.
But yes, traditionally, yes. That's what Kirby. Look, that's what Kirby's built.
They've played 6 games. They've given up 103 points. Texas A&M, even this year, I think they would be considered a good defense. They've given up 100 points in 6 games. We talked about South Carolina's defense earlier. They've given up 122 points. Ole Miss, really good defense. They've given up 74 points, and they're 7 games. So, barely 10 points a game. You know how many points Texas has given up in 6 games this year?
I know their average is 7 points.
They've given up total in 6 games 38 points this year.
So not even 7. It's gone below 7, 6 points.
In conference play, they've only played 2 games. They've given up 16 points.
No, I know.
LSU in their 6 games,
they haven't played a good
given
offense
up 134.
Yet, So who you like in Texas, Georgia this weekend?
Texas.
Yeah, me too. Georgia's defense actually pretty meh this year. Middle of the pack.
And the run game.
And a lot of stuff.
And the weapons. On the outside.
Yeah, the run game and the weapons.
I still think Beck's really good. He's going to play for a long, long time. They've got some strengths there, but Texas secondary, they got picked on a year ago, has kind of solidified themselves this year. Now, this is going to be a test, no question about it, but Texas right now just looks different than everybody else.
Per our original conversation, the team that has a sneaky chance here is A&M and LSU.
Yep.
I'm so out on Tennessee, it's not even funny.
If LSU,
I think Tennessee loses to Bama at home this weekend.
No, fraud alert. Big time fraud alert for Tennessee.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Big time fraud
and it's
alert.
not about Bama being good. It's I think Tennessee is actually maybe not good.
Yeah.
And we thought they were awesome.
It's kind of what I'm trying to figure out with my Arkansas kind of predictions and breakdowns of this LSU game. Now, I'm
just calling it close because it's always close.
Yeah, exactly. The series, I think, is going to dictate more than Arkansas beating Tennessee for me. That offense was humming, but you adjusted to it. And Nico hasn't been able to adjust with the adjustments.
No, not at all. Dude, they didn't score a touchdown. Florida's defense is bad. They didn't score until the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Billy Napier, go for 2, you freaking coward. What are we doing, dude?
Has to.
What are we doing? You're on the road trying to beat a better team, getting upset. Play winning football. What happened to scared money don't make money?
Ooh, that was him saying that. You made fun of that for a long time.
Scared money don't make money, and then you pull the second most cowardly move of the season? Maybe even the first. It might beat out Mark Stoops.
Sorry. Whoa.
Old habits die hard, especially when you go and get your ass kicked by Vandy.
Hey, Vandy put everybody on notice.
Pavia! All right, close out the show. That's the bench next. Oh, we got to get to
Off the bench.
And we didn't even talk Jerry Jones.
Back to sports talk. Maybe.
I don't even know
Off the
what's
bench.
going on right now.
Man, I'm sorry, Tay-Tay. We got distracted with all this college football talk. Head over to the Queen of Baton Rouge. Speaking of football, you're home for football any day. Remember, we're in the midst of 55 straight days of football. So if you want to head over to the DraftKings Sportsbook downtown at the Queen, very easy to get to. Great parking situation. Roll right in there. Wall-to-wall televisions. Cash in, cash out. It's fun to win on your phone. It's more fun when you go up to the counter and you get that green in your hand, man. Get that green in your pocket. Great food and drink options, whether it's a bar right there in the lounge or in the sports bar or in the sports book, or you go to the 1717 Restaurant and Lounge, Shaq's Big Chicken, Capital Coffee, the 3 Walk Noodle House. Feeling for like a little Asian food. It's all there, remade top to bottom. The Queen of Baton Rouge, the Queen BR.
TheQueenBR.com. It is your ultimate football destination. We'll be out there again this football season. Come hang out with us. Come enjoy all the things T-Bob said. It is completely revamped. TheQueenBR.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Our rice correspondent, Alondra, confirming white rice better for you than brown rice.
Actually has less calories.
Let's freaking go, dude. I have been eating so much rice lately. It's because that stupid rice. Japanese barbecue sauce, the pecan or whatever, that umami flavor. I put that thing on everything. I could drink that stuff straight. All right, real quick, Tete, NFL story of the day. You got a minute?
Yeah, Tom Brady. He's been approved as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is going to impact what he is able to do as far as a broadcaster. He cannot go into another team facility. He cannot be a part of meetings throughout the week. He cannot go and scout other teams. But apparently, this was part of the rule when he got this broadcasting gig, because if you remember, he applied to be the owner like 17 months ago.
Yeah.
This is something Brady's already been doing. He's not allowed to go to any other team facilities and interview any other players that are not part of the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's something he's actually been dealing with. But Tom Brady yesterday got approved to be a minority owner.
Interesting, man. I would not be happy if I was Fox and I was paying him all this money if he couldn't go, get embedded with the teams like you can. But whatever. It's Tom Brady,
I feel bad for Greg Olsen still. I feel like he's on, a random game now, and he's so good.
He's good. I think Tom will be great. Tom's been pretty good so far. All right. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Colker's Life is here. It's the Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. The new Barrett Sports Media Mid-Market Morning Show ratings for 2024 come out in February. So this is the fourth quarter. What Hail Marys do you have planned to move in top 5? Crap, I hadn't even considered this.
Get it up. We
need to come up with Hail
fourth
Marys
quarter.
to try to get top 5.
Yeah, we do. What can we do?
Just I need to go do a ton of Barrett Sports interviews.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench.
Let's see February, what sports are going to be in there.
Basketball.
Interviews. Yeah, Coach Mulkey.
No. We got it. No. Guys, the college football playoff and Natty's going to be that's our final time to shine. Basketball is going to be irrelevant to our rankings.
You're right.
Super
Bowl's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Maybe a last-ditch Hail Mary.
Yes.
Big Oppie right there, boys.
Yeah.
Yes. T-Bob was playing football, also a sexual experience for you. This is in reference to me saying I'm more gay than most. But no,
Wait,
just
what?
just like
He said on
somebody
Snaps
who
the other
is
day.
just like somebody who's fully homosexual can play football and not be aroused. No, it was not a sexual experience. Although breaking another man's will is one of the sweetest vintages that you can possibly taste. My God, it's so good. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Is 2 weeks enough time for a QB to recover from a bruise on the knee that took you out of a big game?
No.
Who's this in reference to?
Taylor Green.
That's right. He didn't finish. I always forget he didn't finish Tennessee game. Yeah, that could be enough time, right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, y'all see Cam
Taylor
Rising
threw me
has
off.
another year of eligibility.
8-year, baby.
Van Wilder.
And we said at the yesterday laundry, it's he has to take it.
Yeah.
Because he'll make six figures.
Dr. Rising.
Maybe not at Utah, but wherever. You got to make the money while you
Yeah, he ain't making it in the NFL.
All right, we love y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Thursday OTB coming up. Love you guys. Glad to have everybody back.
Off the bench.
Look, everybody's very happy with you, Taylor, that you didn't depress anybody today. I'm proud of you. I guess it's because we didn't talk Jerry Jones. Favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Not the last couple.
I think they're all right, but Last Crusade. Or Raiders. Raiders. Final answer, Raiders. Because of care now. Duh. What am I talking about? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. That's what I'm talking about. YourGoodwood.com. Do not settle for mediocrity in your sex life. Do not settle for mediocrity in your daily life, right? And just who you are, okay? You're suffering from ED. You don't have to be, so why? Why are you? Let's change it. Low T, why? Huh? Low energy, why? Get into YourGoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.